Yo, what's up, guys? What's up? Yo, what's
Sorry,
up,
I wasn't looking at
guys?
chat. 1 second.
What's up? Yo,
Sorry, I wasn't looking at chat.
What's
One
up, Wild?
What's up, funny? How have you been?
Yo,
Like, better or worse than normal? Hang
What's
on,
up,
Echo.
Wild?
Echo's fixed. Don't worry about that shit. How have you been? Better or worse than normal? Worse than normal. But I've just also been... Yeah, worse than normal. That's mainly why I haven't been streaming. But also, there's a tournament on, and I don't know if I can stream a watch party. You could if if I had a face cam, I think you can. Because basically, like, the ruling is like you can watch shit. Well, this is the Twitch ruling. I don't know. YouTube's different, but on Twitch you can watch shit as long as you add to it, which basically would be like your camera, your reaction, your commentary. So technically speaking, I could probably get away with doing it if I was talking nearly all the time, but I'm not gonna do that because it's like 6-hour days, you know. It's like a tournament, you know. So I'm not gonna talk. I don't want to talk over all of it. I want to like listen to the commentation and shit like that. So I don't think I can do anything about that. Also, I'm just like rewatching. I'm not watching it live because obviously I work. So I work basically with that. How I could show anything, the face cam? That probably is true, actually, technically speaking. Update? I just downloaded this game, I gotta update this shit. I'm gonna try Battlefield 1. Obviously, you guys could probably tell that before I say anything. Something happened, or just life getting to you? I don't know, I don't know. I'm not sure how to answer that. I mean, something happened. Not that important, though. Just... shit that doesn't... like, I don't know. For how logically I think of life, it's very funny how much, like, bullshit affects... like, a bullshit happens to me. Like, shit that makes no sense, if that makes sense. Because, like, I'm so logical that, like, anything logical won't hurt my feelings, ever. Won't bother me. Won't bother me at all. Like, if someone told me they didn't like me and they gave me a reason, even if I didn't agree with their reason, like, if their reason wasn't fucking stupid, then I'd be like, fair enough. I don't mind. Like, logic is, like, logic above all. But yeah, a couple things did happen and they don't make logical sense and I just don't like that shit. But only time will tell. Nah, the thing I'm talking about isn't that big a deal. I think it's just like, it's one of those things where, you know how like, how do I put it? Like little things add up. Well, okay, I mean, it probably works this way for everybody, but like my anger is really bad, obviously, so it's like little things, little things don't matter, but if they, like, slightly anger me, then, like, the anger that I've got it's already, like, building up, and, like, the little things, like, get it to where it's, like, it's primed, if you want to put it that way, and then it's, like, anything happens that I just don't like at all, and it's, like, my anger's, like, blowing up, and I'm very, like, I would argue that I'm actually too good at controlling my anger and not putting it on others. Like, I actually think if there's one thing, like, wrong with my personality, it's that I'm too nice to people. Which is hilarious, because I feel like, I don't know, I mean... literally, my nickname is the Wicked One. I'm too nice to people, but it's true, I'm too nice to people, to be honest. I mean, other people find it the other way most of the time. Most people think, or not most people, like, the people that are close to me know that I'm nice, but... like, a lot of people, you know, like, dumbass comments and shit like that, they seem to think, like, I'm quite rude or toxic or, you know... insert word here, I guess, basically, of all those kind of things. But honestly, I'm just not rude enough. And then it's coming out on me. I don't really deserve that shit, though. Alright, am I gonna, like, connect to this shit or not connect to this shit? Because it looks like it's not connecting. But why would it not be connecting? gonna restart this shit. It said something about an update, but like, I literally just downloaded the game, so I feel like there shouldn't be an update. But I'm glad you guys are here. I streamed last night. Raven was here, but that was it. It was kind of... It was an alright stream. I tried Battlefield like 2042 or whatever it's called. It's alright. It's not bad. Not bad. But I checked like which Battlefield gets played the most, and it said Battlefield 1. That's why I downloaded it. It said that online it said Battlefield 1 has the most recurring player base. So I figured I would just like try it out. Although it's kind of weird. Oh, apparently I played it. I'm level 2, but I played it like very little. Why are these like called... Why is it called Russian Sniper? Shouldn't it have a name? I'm sure the Russians named it something. I'm pretty sure the Russians didn't call it Russian Sniper. We got a Gewehr. I want to use the German weapons just because I like German weapons. Well, just German stuff. So I kind of want to use the German weapons. I'm sure they've got a Kar 98 in here somewhere. I would hope. I imagine they do. I don't see one though. Do they have like full autos? I can't. Oh, this is World War I, I think actually. Yeah, this is World War I. Never mind. There's no Kar 98. Kar 98's like a Ford, like in the 40s. I was thinking World War II. I guess Gewehr. Well, Gewehr just means gun. That's why. A Gewehr is like not a specific. I don't think it's a specific type of gun. Like Gewehr just means gun. Because like the STG is like Sturmgewehr, and then like the MG42 is like Maschinengewehr. I don't know. Sounds like machine. I mean, that's what it means, machine. But it's their way of saying it. I'm pretty sure they just say like machine too, but they say it weird. Compared to us, I guess. Yeah, this is World War I. Shit, I don't know anything about World War I. Got a little cowboy pistol over here. Silencer? I mean, of course. So yeah, I'm gonna put that on. Gadget. Flare. French periscope? I would never use that. Oh, wait, that's kind of nasty. I mean, I would never use it, but that's kind of interesting. You can see over the thing. I mean, that's kind of cool. Sniper shield. We're gonna see people using that. Sniper decoy. Bro, look at that. That's absolute cheese. Ain't no one shooting that. If I shoot a sniper decoy, I'm getting off the game. Ripwire bomb. I mean, that seems way better than all the other shit that they're giving me, I'm not gonna lie. Gadget, K bullets. Armor-piercing bullets. Only effective at close range. Oh, this is just like another... It's same shit, but... Oh, look at that. These actually matter. I was thinking that, like... Okay. The Welsh blade. Alright. Oh, there's special... Dude, there's so much shit. Quick regen sounds like what I want. Immediately, that sounds what I want. Cover. Incoming suppression is reduced by 25%. Incoming suppression. What does suppression really do to me, though? I'm not really worried about it. But incoming damage from explosive is reduced by 10%. That's nothing. 10%'s nothing. Sound of your footsteps is reduced? That sounds good. I don't know if suppression matters, but I also don't think I'll be pinging people, so... I don't know, we could... I guess... I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see what we've got here. Ross? I mean, none of these look good. 5 times? Holy shit, we're zoom. Loadout 2. We need like a... Do they have full auto guns? Dude, I don't know anything about World War I. There's full auto guns, I imagine, but very few, right? Or maybe there's not full auto guns. None of these look like it, so... Looking like they're just a lot of bolt actions. This does maximum damage. Silenced! Ain't no way the silenced gun. Damage drop off. Oh, look at that. This one doesn't have damage drop off at all. Yeah, I don't need silenced shit, bro. Or wait, hang on. No. Wait, this one's better. It does more damage at like a certain range though. That's kind of weird. Okay, I appreciate you guys, though. Dude, I would talk to you guys about the small stuff. I would. In fact, I would actually say I will, but, I can't really, like... It's really hard to say. I'm not sure how to word this. Can't really talk to you guys about, like, the problem. You guys just gotta trust me on that. What are we like... What am I doing here? That doesn't look like... This isn't a lot of options. All maps, all modes. Conquest. I don't really know what I'm doing. Operations?
An operation mirrors the journey of epic back.
I'm just skipping that. Yeah, no, most things I would talk to you guys about, it's like, I don't know. What are these? These are expansion packs or something? Iron walls? I guess we're going...
On the anniversary of their humiliating
Oh, we're
defeat
going
at
to,
Caporetto,
like...
the Italian army
the
launched a
we're going
huge
to
assault
Italy.
to win back the land they had lost from the now well-prepared Austro-Hungarians. This would be the ultimate test for both of these courageous armies.
Stop matchmaking? Wait, do I want to play? I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be playing. I guess... I was gonna see, like, where are the game modes at? Do they have game modes, or is it just... server, custom games, operations? I don't want a quick match. Home. All maps, all modes? Where do I find, like... Where do I find the modes? Is it in here and I just didn't see it? Oh, that's a machine gun that guy's holding, 100%. I know what that is, kinda. I don't know, bro. I want to play, like, infantry-only mode, if that's a thing on this. That's what I was trying to figure out. Conquest, Operations, Conquest, Team Deathmatch. Team Deathmatch is probably what it is, but Team Deathmatch sounds kind of boring, though, too. 30 hertz? Why would I play on a 30 hertz server when I could join a 60 hertz?
In many ways, World War I...
Not really sure why I would do that. Maybe this is like a PC lobby or something, I don't know. Yeah, no, my anger was really bad a couple days ago. Not really sure what to do about it, though. Been writing a lot, actually. But it's kind of awkward, because I'm kind of done with the Grail stuff, and that's, like, what I write all the anger into. I think I need to touch up some things. There's, like, one thing that makes Grail really mad, but I feel like I haven't, like... Or, well... It's something I mean, I guess it's something I somewhat relate to, but anyways, there's something that's meant to make her really mad, but I've realized as I've read it to you guys and read it back and forth that it doesn't stand out enough. So I want to go back and touch that up. I might do writing, like, after... I'm gonna, like, fuck around in some of these games. Like, I'm gonna try this game. I might try some Battlefield, like, 42, now that you guys are here. Chilling with me. And I also might try this, like, Wo Long game, or whatever it's called. But... Um. Yeah, I want to be able to make a lot of them for a while. Wait, what do you mean make a lot of what? The streams? Or I won't be able to make a lot of them for a while because I've been working my ass off. Maybe that's what you meant? Squad full. Am I like... Oh shit, the game's actually going on. I was like sitting here like, am I gonna get into this shit? Oh, this is a full auto gun, it looks like. So they do. I was just on a scout class. That's why the guns looked like a little bleak. Oh, hang on. I gotta change shit. Hang on. We definitely need an FOV scaler. We need the FOV scaled all the way up, bro. This is not... Basic? Don't tell me there's not an FOV scaler, because I'll just quit. The FOV is like
there.
terrible.
We need to push harder.
Let me know if you guys see it. I don't see it. There better be an FOV scaler. If there's not, I'm like legit like just gonna not probably play. I mean, I'll like spawn in a few times, I guess, but if there's not an FOV scaler, I don't see one. It wouldn't be in minimap, I can't imagine. I'd imagine it'd be right here. Controls? It looks like there's not an FOV scaler. And if that's the case, I don't know if I'm gonna play this, because this looks pretty bad to me. The FOV is way too... The FOV is terrible. There's gotta be an FOV scaler, and I just haven't seen it, right? Yeah, because this is... Oh, dude, this is gonna give me a headache. Ain't no way people are playing this, bro. There has to be an FOV scaler. Bro, I'm literally on skates right now playing this game. Nah, bro. Nah, bro. It might be Battlefield video settings. Let me look. I don't know if, was there video settings? I didn't see anything. That shit already gave me a headache for just that like few seconds. I quit out to see if it's out here somewhere maybe. Options. Video. Field of view, there we go. Okay, I was gonna say, dude, that shit is terrible. Okay. Let's just jump into quick match, because I don't know what I'm fucking doing anyways. All modes, all maps. I don't care. Yeah, I don't really have anybody to talk to, though. I don't really have people to talk to. I have you guys before most other people, to be honest. Oh, I missed that. Yeah, definitely mostly, like, bipod mounted guns for sure. I mean, I doubt there was very many, like, carryable SMGs, but maybe there was a lot, I don't know. Yeah, it looks like they've got them. All these squads are full, bro. I guess I'll join this one. Geek squad over here. Oh yeah, now we're fucking zooming.
We are losing objective Charlie.
Ah, fook. I might have cranked this shit too far.
We have lost objective Butter.
Yeah, this FOV is crazy. I might need to turn it down a little bit now. Oh wait, that's a team kill. Apparently there's killing teammates in this game. Oh, I'm in hardcore, I think. Whoops. Well, you learn one way or another. Where's everybody at? Is there enemies? Like... Dude, it's so hard to tell who's your teammate. I had to zoom in on that guy. That's insane. I don't know if I like this.
We have taken objective apples.
Okay. I'm gonna quit a second game in a row.
We have lost objective
And go to the normal game, because I don't know what the fuck that was, dude. Dude, I literally couldn't even tell they're my teammates. I don't know about hardcore, bro. When I haven't played this game at all, I don't know about hardcore. Yeah, that's what, okay, Conquest Hardcore. Okay, all maps, I'm assuming we want this. All maps, all modes, but it shouldn't be hardcore. I think that's what we need. Alright. We should be good now. We should be good now. Wait. Failed to join game session. Try this again. It doesn't... Multiplayer. Quick match. Just... get me in, I don't know. I don't know where the, like, modes list is, bro. I still haven't found it. What's up, helper? How's your relationship with your mom or John? I mean, my mom's, like, my relationship with my mother's good, but I can't talk to her about serious shit. I've tried before. Like, she doesn't get it, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. But I don't think anybody gets it. Some people just act like they do. And John is just... John's amazing. Like, he's amazing. I have zero complaints to say about John. The only problem is me and him are just, like, complete opposites. And for gaming, that doesn't really matter. Like, we can game all day long and have some fun, but... like, he's... never serious. Which is the complete opposite of me. I'm, like, always serious. And I feel like I've said this before. This is the way I would say, like... This is, like, the only problem between me and Virus. Is, like... I'm always serious, and I feel like he's always, like, laughing and joking, and I feel like I come into his realm and, like, laugh and joke with him, but I don't feel like he ever comes into my realm of being serious with me, if that makes any sense. So, like, you know, like, I've tried to have serious conversations with him, but I feel like it just is a bit in one ear and out the other, and I'm not, like, shit-talking him or anything, it's just, that's just genuinely how it is. Oh, this is, like, pretty difficult to shoot this far. Yeah, second shot would have headshot him, but he died.
Lost objective Freddy.
I thought the first shot looked good, but it was a bit too high. Damn. I don't know where to, like, lead yet. Oh, you can't get up fast. I should have just got the bigger scope. I shouldn't have done 5 times. That's like the least you can do. Oh, I'm bad at this shit. That looks like it hit. I'm a little confused. Are these not hitting him? That was terrible, but I feel like the other shots look pretty good.
We have lost objective Butter.
I mean, I finally hit one, but I feel like out of like however many, like I probably took like 10 shots there, I imagine. I feel like 4 of those landed. But the game only said 1 did. That was kind of weird. I feel like those look pretty good to me. We can go in... maybe like here? I don't want to be in this. How do I get out of this? Yeah, I think I can turn down the FOV a little bit.
We have taken objective Freddy. We have taken objective George.
This sensitivity's too low, too. Yeah, I need to change a lot of settings. If I'm gonna play this. I might just play 42 though. 42 is newer. But yeah, I think it said less people play it though. That's the only problem. I don't know if that would matter though. Yeah, I knew I heard someone behind me.
We have taken objective Duff.
Yeah, I mean, well, partially, like... I mean, it's not really, like, specific to talking to someone, but that's partially why I've been enjoying, like, reading my writing, is because, like... Get this silencer shit off here, I don't like this shit. Partially why I've been enjoying reading my writing, though. Because... obviously, that's pretty much what it is. Buy that shit. Use this one. Oh, this one can only have a 4? What the fuck? I don't have enough money to buy that. What is this? One's can have which scopes? That one can only have a 4 as well? What the fuck? The first one I was using could have like a bunch. Maybe I should just be using that one. This one got on it 2 times. That's not enough. I want, like, these are snipers. Why don't they have sniper scopes? Like, this one has fucking 10. I guess I am using this one. I just don't really need this suppressor, but I mean, I guess let it happen. Oh shit, I'm on them. Lag. I might just go play the 40. I might go play 42, bro. I was doing okay in it. I'm gonna have to fuck with so many settings to play this shit. I'm just gonna play 42. Because I already did all my settings in that shit. I'm gonna try 42 with you guys in here, and we'll see what you guys think about it. I thought it was alright, but we'll see. But no, I was enjoying reading my writing, partially, because, like, that's kind of that. But I don't know, it's kind of bittersweet. Like, it's good, but it's also, like, just writing. Like, not to me, but to most people. Or to everyone. Like, to everyone, it's just writing, but it's, like, not.
Come on, let's get out there.
Like, you guys don't understand the lines to the extent that I do. Like, you know how sometimes I'll pause? Like, you've heard it probably before, where, like, I'll read something, and I'll pause, and I'll be like, fucking damn, that's a good line. Like, or some shit like that. That's usually not me referring to me being a good writer. Usually that's me remembering something that happened in my past, and, like, that line is a direct reference to it, and I'm like, damn, like, I'm caught off guard by the fact that I wrote it. I'm like, damn, I forgot about that shit until right now. Like, damn, that's a good line. Like, that's usually what I mean by that kind of shit. Or, like, I read a line yesterday, man. So I was working on my writing in the past few days. I actually have some updates. I'll probably get to that if you guys are still, like, around after I'm done playing this. I don't know how long I'm gonna play this. Probably not that long, I imagine. But anyways, I'm gonna try this shit. But anyways, oh wait, hang on. Is this the one I wanted to try? What is this one? Yeah, let's try this one. This was kind of fun. It's infantry only and you're a bit quicker, so you're fast as fuck in this game mode. But anyways, yeah, I have some updates for the writing stuff. But yeah, I feel like the writing's good. But I feel like, yeah, I don't know, it's just... Like, unless I'm, like, really honest about, like, what I'm going through, then it's not very obvious what I relate to when it comes to, like, Grail, for instance. I mean, I tell people, like, a bunch that I relate to, like, almost all of it, but not all of it. I mean, physically, I don't relate to some of it. But, like, mentally, I relate to, like, nearly every thought she has, basically. Or, I have before. Maybe not currently, but have before. Yeah, I don't know. I think with your writing, you're not getting all your feelings out. It's just like you're getting out half of them. I don't think that that's true. I think I'm getting out most of them. I just think that it's really hard to write anger. I think, like, that's the problem, is all my emotions, like, most of them are, like, surrounded by or, like, sandwiched by anger. Like, even, like, the feelings of, like, love I've felt before, it's, like, anger is, like, present in, like, all of it. Like, I'm mad about a bunch of shit. But I'm just, like, very, maybe that's not the right way to phrase it. That makes it sound like I'm mad at the other person. That's not the case. Just, like, there's always things that annoy me. Like, no matter how good I feel in life, like, there's things that annoy me, or, like, things that anger me. And when I have, like, the things that I love, then it's not too bad. But then, like, there's times, like, now where I have none of them, and that sucks, because then it's just the anger. You could scratch, like, nearly everything I just said in the past minute, because it just sounded whack. It didn't make sense, I don't think. It didn't sound like what I meant to come out. Now, I feel like I get most of the things out in my writing. I just feel like that anger is, like, the hardest emotion to write. 100% is the hardest emotion to write. So... I'm not sure, it's really difficult to write it, yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I thought I'd like this red dot, but I don't think I do. I think the 1x is better. Oh, I got a new site, though. What is that, a 3x? What is this one? This is a 2x, though. Or wait, is it? Is that a 2x? Yeah, it's a 2x. You'd think I'd like the 2x on this AR, but I don't know if I do. I don't know, the AR is decent, but it's not that good. I'm one person in 64. Okay, I guess I'll find a lobby that's not this. Now, the only mistake I feel like I made in my writing is what I was saying before, like I feel like there's like a couple emotions that I want to like pack more into Grail's character. I think it would like say something about her a little bit more. I also just don't know how, like, this is a question I need answered really soon, and, like, I'm the one that has to answer it. It's, like, a really difficult question. Especially I need it for, like, the next story, because it's gonna have, like, a lot of this type of shit. Grail's story, I didn't really need to answer it that much. But, like, how, much maturity do I want in my story? Like, I guess that's how I would phrase it. Obviously, I'm okay with bad language. Obviously, I also, like, I don't use bad language in the narration, because that would make absolutely zero sense. But, like, obviously, I don't care if, like, Grail says fuck or anything, right? Or whoever, like, it doesn't matter. Like, she says it, right? Specifically, like, she'll say it when she's, like, really mad. She'll be like, I don't care about these fucking neeks. Like, she'll say that shit, right? Like, I don't care about that, because it emphasizes how mad she is. Like, I don't mind that. I don't mind the language. Obviously, language is fine. But, like, do I want, like, nudity in my book? And, like, how much, if so? Do I want, like, references to pretty serious shit? I mean, there's already references to pretty serious shit, but, like, I don't know, what type of shit, I guess. Like, all those kind of nitty, like, little details, I need to answer all that shit. Especially for, like, the, like, A Long Way from Zion, because that one's, like, a lot more, I don't know. It's based on, like, Roman times, so there probably will be, like, a lot of nudity and stuff like that. But, like, how much of that should I detail? Also, like, there's, like, it's based on Roman times, so there's a lot more open, like... that's not the right phrasing. I was gonna say open relationships, but that's not the term, because that's an actual term. I mean more, like, out in the open relationships, if that makes sense. Like, there's not much, like... It's based on Romans. Like, they don't care about that shit. Like, the body is just the body. Like, nothing to hide. I'm 1 in 64 again. Okay, nobody plays this game. I understand, though. I don't even know why it's throwing me in that shit. I guess we'll try TDM. But the reason that I'm, like, partially... I don't know, partially, like, talking about this is because there's something in the Grail story that I can add. I just didn't know if I wanted it to be, like, that blatant in there. It's in there, but it's, like, hidden in there almost. I mean, it's, like... You'd have to know slang. You'd have to know, like, a lot of slang, and even then, it doesn't sound like what it means. But there is, like, a couple lines that reference something that I wanted to be in that story. I just didn't know, like, how much I wanted to detail. Oh, this map is small. This is what we kind of wanted, I think. I'm gonna get really fucking mixy with an SMG real quick, because the ARs are alright. I'm gonna get really mixy with an SMG. Once I learn this map, I gotta figure out this map. Wait, there's some AIs in here. I don't want to play against AIs. What the fuck? There's some AIs in this shit. Why is there some AIs? Yeah, I don't know why there's AIs in this. I'm gonna leave this too, I guess. This shit's... Why is this game actually just this dead? Like, first two lobbies I went into, there's, like, fucking nobody. Like, literally, 1 out of 64.
Let's get started.
I go into that and it's got AIs. It shouldn't, though, right? Yeah, 16v16. No AIs. Doesn't say anything about that. Rush. Is it really just everyone plays Conquest? Like, I don't... Like, this is such a shame, bro. I want to actually, like, play a Battlefield game, but they all just seem like I don't know. Like, this is the new one, so I would assume, like, this is where, like, people come to actually game, but then that's not true. What is this? I don't know what I don't know what no pat specialist means. Try this, I guess, and then get off of this game's shit. I don't know though, man. I feel like I haven't even finished answering like or saying what I wanted to say about this, like about like you saying like you think that I'm not getting out all my feelings in my writings. I don't know, man. I feel like I get them out pretty well. Especially like in my rants, like I get them out, and then like most of the Grail shit is like directly based on my rants. Like a lot of it is. It's like just adapted into like her vocab and, well, hell, even honestly, because I've been writing Grail for so long and because I switched her vocab, like even my rants, some of them, like I use some of the slang, bro. Like legit. Like that's how I like, it's not how I talk, but it's like, it's what I think sometimes, I guess. I do say a couple of those words actually, but it's like really rare, and I do only say them when I'm mad. But it also sounds weird if I say them, because like I don't really speak like that, but yeah, I don't know if it's worth trying this game. Like it's, I mean, last night it was okay, but it just seems like completely dead right now. I mean, I can try this game when it's done downloading, I don't know. I mean, I wanted to try Battlefield, but yeah, it really seems like pretty dead. I don't know if I want to play one. I thought it was World War II. That's what I thought. I like World War II shit. I don't know about World War I. I think that's too far back for me to want to play. I want to play like World War II era. Or this era, like the just like, I don't know, modern / near future era's pretty good too. That's like the other, like I actually think like the concept of this game should be hard as fuck. Like Battlefield, but like a bit in the future should be pretty good. Like not too futuristic, but kind of. I feel like that's pretty much perfect for where Battlefield should be. Not sure I like Battlefront that much. Battlefront is alright. Yeah, but the problem with the thing is, like, those rants, like, those are, like, my angriest moments. Pretty much. That's when I write those. So it's, like, it has to be something real serious for me to write about it. Most of those rants I wrote when, like, I lost people that said they cared about me, but then, like, didn't. Or, like, I lost people I loved and things like that. When, like, really bad things happened to me. Or like really bad dreams, or you know, fake friends, like fake shit. I don't know, all sorts of shit like that. So I feel like that's like I don't know, like the most, like the Grail story is quite literally like something that's like, I guess. Dude, I've been wanting to make a video about this. Like, I've been wanting to make a TikTok about this for just all the fucking... I'm gonna call them losers. I don't know. Like, so I kind of made a video touching on this, like, about the whole, like, you shouldn't take it seriously, it's just a game. Or, like, just anything. It doesn't even matter if they're saying, like, you shouldn't take it seriously. Like, that's a dumb comment, obviously. We all know it's... Anybody with a brain knows that's a dumb comment. Also the opposite is really stupid. You should never tell somebody like you should take it seriously. Like you shouldn't tell any, like it's it's a game, which means that you can do whatever you want. That's the point. That's the point of a game, is like you find your enjoyment in the game. Some people enjoy going into GTA and walking around and just looking at the buildings. Some people find joy in that. And that's perfectly fine because they bought the game. Like, the game is meant to just be played. You can do whatever you want. I shouldn't need to tell you that. If I need to tell you that, then you've got other issues. But anyways, like, part of the reason that I, like, made that fucking video is because it's like, imagine these fucking guys coming to me, telling me that I shouldn't be talking shit in a game, when in reality, the other option is me going out on the street and talking shit. That's the other option. Like, that could be what I'm doing. Do you prefer that? Like, do you prefer me getting into people's faces, like, over dumb shit? Because that's what other people do. Like, that's what a lot of people do. You see, like, a lot of these fucking guys, like, out on the block fucking talking shit to people. Like, I'm not doing that shit. So it's like, is that what you prefer? Like, this is like, I wanted to make a video about this. It's like, what? You think me talking shit in a video game is that big of a deal? Like, how about I guess I come up to you and talk shit? Because, like, one way or another, I'm gonna talk shit because I'm mad. Like, that's why I'm talking shit. You can hear it in my voice, too. And then you've just got people that can't comprehend the fact that my anger doesn't just come from the game. It's like, damn, he's angry. I mean, like all respect to Marvin, because I fucking love Marvin. But, like, he doesn't understand that either. I mean, like, he doesn't understand that either. Him or that other fucking guy. I mean, Funny was in here when I was talking about that shit. Or I think he was, maybe you were, like, gone for a second and came back and you were like, what happened? I remember you asked me about it at least. But it's like, there were some people in here pissing me off, like Marvin and somebody else. Because they're talking about, like, my anger as if it's a fucking joke. And it's like, do you think that I'm mad at this game? Is that what you think? It's like, the game is like the last straw. It's like the 1% out of, like 99%. Like, we're just there on anger. I'm at 99%. And it might not seem that way, so you guys see the 1% of, like, Apex pissing me off. It's like, Apex is that 1% that hits 100. Like, that's not how it works. It's like, I'm already on 99%. So then he said, like, he's saying dumb shit, which doesn't help, by the way. Regardless, even if I was just mad at the game, last thing I want to see is some dumb shit in my chat, but that's besides the point. Like, I'm just ranting about it. I'm not mad at him, obviously. But, like, I am mad at, like, that happening. That shit annoyed the fuck out of me. Because, like, I mean, the perfect reference to that is, like, you know how there's the Grail scene, right? Like, there's specifically a scene based on this, because this has happened, like, I mean, technically, that's kind of an instant. This is actually a perfect example. Like, damn near identical example, technically, if you want to get technical, assuming Marvin cares about me. She probably does to a little extent. So it's like, there's the Grail, like, moment that I read to you guys. I don't think it's, like, plugged into a part yet, but there's, like, this part that I wrote her where she's, like, she's angry, and she's talking about how there's, like, somebody that, like, claims they care about her, like, presumably someone in her gang, like, they claim to care about her, but then she's, like, talking about how she was, like, hitting her hand, like, breaking her hand on punching shit, and he came into her room, and he asked her to be quiet. He didn't ask her, like, how she was doing or what's wrong. He asked her to be quiet. And she was mad about that shit because it's like, I think my dying's a bit more, like... That's actually a line I wrote in my rant, too. Like, there's so many layers to this shit. But anyways, that's a line I wrote in my rant. Like, because I ranted about this. This shit literally happened to me. Like, I obviously, like, was at a pretty dark place in my life. I broke some shit. Nearly broke my hand. But that's, like, pretty casual, to be honest. Like, I've hit my hand, like, pretty hard. I don't know how I haven't broke my fingers, to be honest. But anyways. Like... Fucking... My roommate came in and asked me to be quiet. Literally, like, bloodied hands. He asked me to be quiet. That's somebody that says they care about me. You either don't or you're an idiot. But that's besides the point. So I wrote that. Like, I wrote that. And, like, and in my... Well, I wrote a rant first. Like, that was the first thing I did. I wrote a rant, like, that night or the next day. Probably that night. And, like, one of the lines that I wrote was, like, I think my dying's a little bit more important than... like, your fucking sleep or some shit like that. Or, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's actually, I think it was the exact line that I used for Grail, which is like, my dying's a little bit more important, isn't it? Because that's just how it feels. Like, it's just, I'm that angry. And, like, that shit's annoying. And it's like the same thing happened there. Like, I don't know. That's why, that's part of the reason I haven't been streaming. Because the last couple times I've streamed, I've just been really angry. And... I don't really mind, like, people seeing it, because it's just me. Like, I don't care. But the problem with anger is it doesn't look how it feels at all. It looks completely different. When you see somebody that's angry, you think of, like, them... I don't know. You just think of them in a bad light. Not even as in, like, they're worrying or something like that. It's more like this person can't control what they feel, or you think of it's like a, you know, an outburst, or you think of it as, like, whatever you think of it as, like, all these bad words for it, all these, like, shitty words to basically say that shit. So I don't know, like, it's just a bunch of, like, that shit. And yeah, that's partially why I haven't been, like, streaming. I mean, I have, I guess. I mean, I technically only didn't stream for a day, but I've obviously, like, not been interested in it that much. Like, the only reason literally the only reason I've been getting on is because I've been in the mood to play Battlefield, and I've been wanting to try it. That's the only reason I throw on my stream at all, either of these nights. But yeah, like, I don't know, just... I'm probably going to continue to keep talking about this and answering this question, because I feel like I'm still not done with it. But anyways, I don't think I could add more... I don't think it's possible to really add or to pack more feelings into my writing. I can make more of my writing, which, like, in turn would, like, have more of my feelings in it. But, like, I don't know if it's possible to pack more of my feelings into my writing. I read something last night, like... I don't have much emotion besides anger. Like, there's not much that makes me sad or anything like that. I read something last night that, like, caused me to have, like, a tear, man. And it's something I wrote. Isn't that crazy? I feel like that's crazy. Because, like, in order for you to have, like, tears... well, it wasn't plural. It's, like, a singular one. But that's besides the point. Like, in order for you to, like, have tears... Like, you obviously have to feel so strong about something, and usually you have to be caught off guard by it. Like, a little bit. You have to kind of not know what's coming. Like, for me to read something that I wrote, and for that to be the response, it's pretty crazy. So it's like, that's how much feeling I have packed into shit. Like, it's one of the most, like, meaningful things that ever happened in my life, and I put it into my writing, and I put it in there, like, beautifully, and it works really well. So, like, there's shit like that, too. And it's, like, everything. See, Marvin's 15, so I usually cut him some slack, but yeah, the dumb shit doesn't help. Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not hating on him. Because, like, I cut him slack too, but it's just, like, it does give me a little bit of the same, like, the problem, and, like, I'm gonna answer, like, I didn't read it out loud, but I've already read, like, your next comment. Like, the problem is, like, and I'll answer that, I'll answer the first thing I was going to answer by also answering that, which is, like, the issue is that there is nothing you can do right. Like, that's the problem with anger, is, like, when I'm angry, there isn't anything you can do right. Because if you ask me about it, that's going to annoy me. If you say funny shit, then I'm going to be pissed off because you think this shit's funny and nothing's funny. Like, that's my, like, I can literally go through my list of, like, reactions to me seeing shit. It's like, there is no win. Like, that's the issue. Like, that's the problem with the anger, is, like, there is no win. The only thing that would calm my anger, and it's something that I'll never have in life, even though, like, you guys are gonna be like, no, you'll definitely have that in life. The only thing that could have calmed my anger is, like, me being with somebody romantically. That would calm my anger. Like, having someone that I love that loves me, and I know that would calm my anger. Other than that, there's not a single thing that I can think of that would calm my anger, because, like I said, like, if I'm genuinely, like, that angry, like how I have been, like, hitting shit and stuff like that, if I'm genuinely that angry, it's like, yeah, if you don't say anything about it in chat and you keep carrying on your conversations, I'm gonna be like, do I fucking exist? Like, that would be my reaction. It's like, are we all hearing this shit? Like, what, this shit doesn't fucking matter? Like, that would probably be the thought that's in my mind, even though I know that if people asked me about it, like, are you okay? I'd be like, of fucking course I'm okay. What, you think me hitting my hand's gonna hurt me? Like, I've done this shit fucking too many times. I'll be perfectly fine. Like, it's like, that's the problem. Like, if there's anything that's toxic about me, then that's it, I guess. Because, like, I understand, like, that sucks. That sucks for everybody involved. It sucks for me, and it definitely sucks for other people that are trying to help, because there is no, like, helping that shit. It's like, everything Like, it's like everything can just get it. It's like I don't know. It all sucks. Like, it's pretty rough. Because it's like every response. I'm genuinely trying to think of what the thing you could say is that would help. That way I can tell you so you can do it, cause like, or if you would want to, obviously. I'm trying to think of like what's best, but I genuinely like don't know, cause like I said, it's like if you don't address it, then like in the back of my mind I would just think, do people care? But then if you do address it, then it almost makes me feel weak. Like, especially like if people are like, "Are you all right?" And it's not like anything against you. Like, you wouldn't make me mad. Like, I don't know how to put it. It's like if you asked if I was all right, like I have the like intelligence to like know that you just care. But like I would be more angry at myself. Because in my mind it's like, if you're asking if I'm alright after some shit that like in my mind is clearly like it's normal to me, like this is what I do, then it would like almost come off to me like, you know how like Grail has the inner voice, that's based on me. So it's like, I have that shit, and it's not really necessarily a voice. Well, it kind of is a voice. I mean, it's not quite, like, I embellish it to her, right? But it's like, it is quite literally that. I mean, like, there's definitely a lot of times where, like, if I get hurt, like, you know, like, I have, like, a really high pain tolerance, but it's not really because I have a high pain tolerance or anything. It's because when I get hurt, like, my inner voice is like, are you not gonna get up? Like, are you just a bitch? Like, it's literally the same thing that Grail hears. It's, like, that's what it's based on. It's the exact same shit. Just like, are you just a bitch now? Like, you're gonna let that happen? You're gonna cry about that shit or something? Like, fuck no. Like, you can just get back up. Like, it's not that big. It's like, it's not that deep. It's that. It's that whole, like, thing that she's got going on. Like, that's me. And if somebody asks if I'm alright from some shit that's normal to me, then, like, my reaction is probably, like, gonna be that voice just being like, what? Like, this person thinks you're weak. Like, this person thinks you're weak. Like, it would make me mad. So it's like, there's nothing... Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think. It's like... I don't know. It's tough. So, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I mean, like I said, like, pretty much the only thing that would, like, actually calm me down, or, like, well, I don't like that term either. I'm very particular with my words. It's like, that's not what I need. It's like, you don't need to calm down. You just need things to be fair for once. That's what it is. And I'm trying to think of how to word this shit. Well, I mean, the problem is, like, I was born in the wrong age, bro. I was born in the wrong age. That's, like, part of the issue, is because, like, well, I don't know if it was, I guess I shouldn't say that. I don't know if it's different back then, but I would love if people's words to me actually transitioned into their actions. That's all I would like to say, because my words transitioned into actions. If I talk to you like I love you, and I talk to you about, like, that I care about you, then, like, I would show up for you. Like, I'll be there for you. And I don't just mean fucking to tell you I'm there. Like, I mean, like, I'd actually, like, do some shit. But then I get a lot of the opposite, or I get a lot of the same. I get a lot of the words, like a lot of people tell me. A lot of people seem to like me, and I don't just mean as a friend. Like, a lot of people seem to like me, but no one ever like likes me. I don't know if that makes sense. I think usually the way I phrase it, usually the way I phrase it, is that, like, yeah, like, everybody likes me, but nobody loves me. That's, like, typically how I feel, but that's not even true, because I feel like... I don't know. I feel like people just are confused, honestly. I feel like I'm one of the only people that's not confused. Like, I'm not confused about me. Like, I'm not confused about, like, anything I feel, and everything that I say is based on the things that I feel. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple how things work. But then it's like other people, like, feel things, but then they don't do the corresponding things to how they feel, because maybe they're afraid of some, like, there's just, like, so much, like, leapage in there, and I'm like, bro, I don't know, bro. I just feel a certain way, and then I do stuff based on the feelings. Like, it's pretty simple. I think things through, like, greatly. I don't accidentally do shit. If I, like, a good example, if I like talking to somebody, I just talk to them. Like, I don't know. Like, that's a good example. There's a lot of people that like talking to me that don't. And then my mind is just like, but why though? Like, there's people that like talking to me more than I like talking to them, but they don't talk to me. Isn't that interesting? Like, and I don't mean to, like, a small extent. I mean to, like, a very great extent. Like, that happens. I mean, I only know one person, like, right now that, like, I don't know, likes talking to me a ton and, like, will actually reach out. I've known them for a while, but I don't even talk to them that much. Yeah, I'm glad I met you guys too. Like, you guys are, like, helping me out a lot more than you know, because, like, this conversation we're having right now, this would be a conversation I would be having with me, like, right now. Should probably not be as good. That sounds so lighthearted, but I don't mean it that way. Quite seriously, like, it's just, like, usually I can't sleep at night because, like, I just think about all this shit. That's also why I'm, like, so ready to, like, that's why I have, like, a lot of quick points on a lot of things, too, or, like, these rants that come out of nowhere. It's because it's like I've been waiting to fucking say this shit kind of thing. That's also how it feels. Yeah. Let's see. Do I have any writing I can share? Ah, fuck, I forgot that this scene's gonna change, bro. Alright, I got an example for you. And I'm debating on how much I should share about this, but maybe all of it. I don't know. So, like, I think I've read this, like, this is, like, a super quick, this is just a reference scene, like, it hasn't been written out, but this is, like, a thing that happens where, like, so Grail, like, has this issue where she, like, she hurts herself, right? Like, we've seen that before. In, like, a couple different ways, but, like, one of the ways that gets referenced is that she's, like, hit herself before. Like, she's knocked herself out, quote unquote, via her, inner voice has said that shit. Like, basically, like, being like, oh, you don't even have enough passion to do that anymore. Like, it was basically calling her, like, a bitch about not doing that shit anymore. And then, I wrote this scene. So this is the original scene idea, and I changed it, and it's dirty. Like, it's filthy. I'm letting you guys in on, like, a sneak peek, because this is late. But anyways, like, so I wrote this scene. You know, Vic is, like, someone that's pretty nice to her, right? I wrote this scene where Grail is, like, slumped over in, like, this, you know, in the abandoned shop, probably, like, the place that's basically her, like, second home, essentially, just because everyone knows that, like, she sleeps there and everybody doesn't want to disturb her. Like, no one wants to fuck with her, so it's kind of just like, yeah, she's there. I don't know. It's basically hers now. And, like, there's, like, Vic finds her, like, hurt. Like, her knuckles are bloody. Like, it looks like she got into a fight and lost, right? Like, knuckles bloody, like, lip busted up, nose, like, running of blood. Like, black eye maybe, something like that. Like, she looks fucked up. And then, like, he sees her and he's, like, surprised. And he's like, what happened? Like, what was it over this time? Which is, like, obviously a reference to, like, her getting into a fight. He's like, what was it over this time? Like, he's not that worried about her, but he's just kind of like, damn, what happened? That pisses her off. Like, because, like, well, I actually added this line in. I added this line in just because I like the sound of it, like, the way her phrasing is. It sounds like her, and but I don't know if she would actually say this, because she's meant to be pretty angry. Although, well, I'll just say the scene. So anyways, he's like, what happened? What was it over this time? And she says, it were me this time, just me over me. Which, I guess, obviously, if you thought about it a lot, you would know she's saying it's her, right? But you could also take that as, like, it was her fault. Like, she got into a fight over her, like, her own shit. Which she does take accountability for shit she does. So, like, he thinks of it that way. Like, it were just me this time, just me over me. But then I guess now I'm speaking out of my ass. I guess okay. Next line is like him basically being like, "You mean you did this?" So I guess he didn't take it that way. I don't know. I'm just speaking to speak. All right. He's like, "You mean you did this?" And then immediately her anger is like, "What, you think any neek around here could bust me up?" Like it's like she's mad at him, right? She's mad immediately because he's saying like it's like he's caught off guard. It's like, "Wait, you did this?" And like even though he's just asking a question, which is completely fair, like her anger is immediately like, "You think somebody around here is tough enough to fuck me up?" Of course not. Like nobody's on this shit. Like how many times have I said it to you? 1,000,000,000 times. Nobody's on this shit like me. Like that's what she's thinking. How many fucking times have I told everybody in my gang all I'm on is like violence and nobody around here is like me? That's like all she says ever. It's like nobody's like me. Nobody could do this shit. Nobody does the shit that I do. Nobody actually goes and does this shit. Like you guys are out here talking about it. I'm doing it. And then it's like for him to like be like, "Wait, you did this?" It's like, of course I fucking did this shit. Like, but it kind of catches him off guard because obviously, like, he's not used to. I mean, like, that's a pretty serious thing. Like, quite serious thing. Anyways, I changed this scene, right? That was the idea, right? And she was meant to be mean to him, like a little bit more rude to him. Like the idea was like she was gonna call him a name or something, like basically be like, "Are you a fucking idiot?" Of course I did, like something like that, right? Like a bit aggressive. And the idea. Well, it would show like how much he cares and like how much he understands her a little bit. Even he doesn't relate. He doesn't relate to her. He doesn't have that much anger. But anyways, he understands. He's smart enough to understand. So the idea of the scene is she would basically be like, "Are you fucking idiot? Of course I did this. Like, ain't nobody around here tough enough to fuck me up." And then it would go silent, and immediately, like instead of like flashing back, he'd just be like helping her up, right? That was the scene idea, and it would go a long way because she would accept his help too. Like, she would accept it. So it's almost like she just vented, right? And they both understood that she just vented, right? Like, that's the idea. It's like they both understood that it wasn't personal. She was just mad and she, like, had to get that out. And he understands that, which, like, goes a long way, right? It's a good scene. It's a very good scene. It's like a 9 out of 10. Well, I decided to change it because I got a 10 out of 10. So what I changed it to, which is filthy. So filthy, man. I can't get over it. It's filthy. To me, it's filthy. But, like, in a good way. You guys are gonna hate it, but you know how like she loves like I think you guys both were here when I read it. Can't remember. Maybe Wild wasn't. But I read the part where the bear gets introduced, and the bear plays like a pretty critical moment in her life because it almost like symbolizes like her choosing to live a little bit. It more so like it literally symbolizes like people notice her, like she's not alone, kind of thing. That's what the bear symbolizes. It's like you're not alone. I'm here. I've always been here. Like the bear kind of like she feels like the bear cares about her, right? Well, anyways, I rewrote this scene to where instead of busted up and bloody and like all that shit in the bando, she's busted up and bloody and like beat up near like a tree in the forest, and the bear finds her. And it doesn't speak, obviously, but it just looks at her, and then it looks around in the forest, like, it, like, lowers its head and looks around in the forest, like, sniffs some, and she knows that, like, the bear is, like, looking for what fucked her up. Like, it's looking for the threat, and Grail gets really mad, because it's like, "No, motherfucker, I'm the threat." Like, there is no threat. I'm the threat. So she, like, picks up a rock and throws it at the bear. Like, "You think anybody's tough enough to fuck me up around here?" And the bear gets, like, obviously doesn't understand. So it's like, "What the fuck? Why are you throwing shit at me? Like, I'm trying to help you." And then, like, the bear leaves, and Grail has, like, a couple tears over that. Because she's like, "Well, that was the only person that actually gave a fuck about me, and now I'm throwing shit at them, too." It's so much dirtier because Vic understands, so Vic, it's not that big of a deal. Vic just takes that shit. It doesn't matter. He's like, "Yeah, it is what it is. It's how you are, and you're fine. Like, I love you all the same." But the bear doesn't get it. It's like, "Well, what the fuck? I just came to help you out, and now you're throwing shit at me. I don't get it." And then Grail's even more lonely than she already was. It's pretty fucking sad, to be honest. But, like, that scene, like, hammers home a certain feeling that I have. Like, really heavily. I think that's, like, it's pretty fucked up. It's pretty sad. Because, yeah, it's literally, like, the only person that checks, like, well, Vic is there, but I don't know. It's dirty. Like, it's dirty that the bear checks on her, and then, like, it's just looking around for, like, "Why are you hurt?" Like, it's making sure that whatever, like, it's literally protecting her, kind of. It's like, what happened? Like, kind of same thing Vic is doing, right? I mean, it's pretty much the exact same scene, but I swapped it out for the bear. But it's dirtier because the bear can't, like, communicate with her. Like, literally. It can only kind of communicate with her via just them understanding body language and shit like that. But I don't know. I like it. It makes sense, you know. It makes sense that Grail would be able to tell, like, what the bear is doing just by how it's moving, and then obviously throw something at it. It's pretty shitty. And then Grail feels bad about it. The good news is there's a better ending for the bear and Grail. It's not like it doesn't end on that. Although that does suck. Pretty good scene though. It's a lot better with the bear than it is with Vic. Even though the Vic, like, I don't know. I have enough scenes of like her kind of snapping at him and him being cool with it. So it's kind of like I don't really need this one. I think this one's better with the bear. PUBG has an update. I don't even know if I want to download that. I should just delete the game. It's not that great. This game might be alright. I'll try it. Maybe not now, but I'll definitely try it. Yeah, that's a good one though. I'm trying to see what else there is. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of references to. But that, I don't know. Like, the Grail story, the whole point is, like, that there's a bunch of feelings in it that I feel, and they might not be, like, obvious, like, in translation. Like, in terms of, like, that I feel it, or how that feeling is felt by me. But, like, that scene conveys a certain feeling that I, like, wanted to get out. Yeah, the bear one adds a lot. Yeah, I agree. It adds a lot because the bear can't talk. I think that's, like, the key thing. Because if they could talk, like, if they could talk to each other, it's just as simple as, like, well, what Grail does with Vic, which is, like, you might yell at him or get mad, but at the end of the day, it's just like, my bad, man, like, or whatever. Well, she doesn't really say that. I guess it's, like, it's kind of unspoken with them, too, I suppose, but it's a choice to be unspoken with them. Whereas, like, with the bear, it, like, just can't. It, like, can't understand. It's just like, what the fuck, man. But I have made it to where, like, the bear, which I know, I mean, this is kind of true anyways. This is true with, like, I've heard, like, that this is true with dogs. Is, like, well, yeah, so, like, if you are aggressive, then, like, most likely your dog is, like, aggressive. It's just kind of how it works. Like, well, not all the time, but, like, it can be that time, like, that, in a sense. Like, apparently, like, animals can, like, they can, like, feel our emotion quite well. And I made this one scene. This hasn't gone into the book yet, but it, like, well, actually, it kind of has and kind of hasn't. This is actually a really cool scene, but I can only describe it to you because I haven't written it. Like, I have this idea, and I think it's really cool. It's, like, a really cool idea. I'd actually love to see it in, like, an animation or something, you know, that'd be so sick. I have this one part in the book where Grail gets done, like, really dirty, and well, let me rephrase that. It's not in the book. It's in, like, my old book. Like, the very first book I, like, tried to write with Grail and Nellie, which is, like, kind of like this book, but, like, way worse, right? Like, it's way worse. It's, like, fantasy. It's a little different, right? It's a little different, but it's still Grail and Nellie. It's, like, what kickstarted this, right? So you're not missing anything. It's just, like, an old thing. But anyways, there was a part in that old book where Grail got done dirty, and she got, like, her body, like, dumped. Like, they didn't kill her, obviously, but they, like, knocked her out. And they, like, dumped her body in, like, the woods or some shit. Like, really old that when I wrote this. I wrote this like 6 years ago. It's really old and not very good. But anyways, she woke up to the bear, or she woke up by herself, and she didn't know which way to go. It was actually kind of a sad scene because she wanted to go back to Nellie, you know, like she got separated from Nellie. It's like a whole deal, and the problem was like she found a path. Like she got out of the forest and she found a path, and she like looks to the left and looks to the right, and she's just like, fuck, I don't know where I'm at. And she just, like, starts walking to the right. It's like, I don't know. Guess I'll go this way. And she picked wrong. Like, there was, like, a path, and, like, one goes to Vela and one goes to Yale, I think it was, which wouldn't really work in my map now. I've added a lot. But anyways, one went to Yale, one went to Vela. And she went to the right. And it's like, well, fuck. She's walking towards Yale, and Nellie's in Vela, and she's trying to find Nellie. And Grail doesn't know what the fuck she is at. And when she's walking, she's doing like her, like when she's angry, she like kind of talks to herself a little bit. So she's like basically walking and she's like muttering like motherfuckers, like whatever she's muttering, right? Like she's mad as fuck. She's like, I fucking find you, like all this shit, and she's like huffing, like her anger is like exuding out of her. She's like she's breathing out of her nose, like heavy out of the nose. So it's like you can hear it. You can hear every like huff, basically, and like. The more she walked, it's like her steps got louder and louder and like heavier and like more huffing and more puffing. And I wrote it like in a narration style where it's like she got more animalistic, more beast-like. And then like it got to a point where it scared her and she like flips around and the bear's following her and it's huffing and puffing like and stomping like she was. But like because it felt it. And then it looks at her and it's like, what are you mad about? Like, basically, like, that's how it was. It's like, what are you mad about? What are we mad about? That's how the bear looks at her. It's like, what are we mad about? Because, like, it likes her. It's, like, following her, and it's, like, it can sense how mad she is. So she's just like, what the fuck, dude? It scared the fuck out of me. Because, like, she started to think, like, that's what she sounded like a bit. It's like she could hear... It was really cool. It's, like, a super sick transition. Like, really smooth. Like, from her walking alone and being, like, these motherfuckers, like... And it just, like, slowly transitions into being, like, loud as fuck and being like, what the fuck? When she turns, and it's, like, the bear's just behind her. And it's also, like, kind of, oddly a cute scene, because it's, like, it shows, like, how much, like, an animal can have a connection with you, right? Because, like I said, it senses that she's angry, and it's not really, like, the bear's not really, like, what are you angry about? It's, like, what are we angry about? Because I'm mad, too. Which, I don't know, that's definitely a thing that can happen with, like, a lot of dogs or pets. Like, that does happen sometimes. Like, you could be walking your dog, and, like, if you're mad, it can sometimes sense that, depending on the dog. But I've definitely, like, read a lot of stories where that's the case. Just, like, a dog might be more aggressive if you're more aggressive or more angry or in a bad mood. Or maybe it's more timid. It depends on the animal, but still, it's a really cool idea. That'd be really cool to add in the story. Yeah, I think I will add that. I think I will add that. You know, there is actually a part with the bear in the story that's pretty cool too, where like they meet the gladiators, like Nellie and Grail meet the gladiators accidentally. They didn't really know that it was them. But they meet them. And, like, as they're talking to, like, a few of them, because they need it, like, they're asking, like, Nellie and Grail are, like, searching for someone, so they're, like, asking anybody they come in contact with, like, hey, have you seen a man like this? There's a part where they are asking, like, a couple of the gladiators, and, like, mid-asking them, a guy, like, runs in, and he's like, hey, we need your help, like, you know, so-and-so got attacked by a bear. Like, I think it killed him, kind of shit. And immediately, Grail thinks, like, oh, shit, because, like, they're in that forest, so... Like, damn, a bear over here? It's gotta be, like, the one I'm thinking of. Oh, I might need to change something, though. I'm thinking of, because I wrote this scene a long time ago. I might need to change part of this, but anyways, there's meant to be, this is what's meant to have happened. What I previously wrote was, like, they come in and they're like, hey, so-and-so got attacked. Like, I don't know if he made it. Like, I barely got away kind of shit. There was a bear out there. Like, we didn't know bears were over here in this territory, which they're not meant to be. So Grail immediately knows, like, fuck, I know what bear this one is, because there's no other bears over here. Like, the bear that Grail knows is, like, it's the only one that lives over here. Most of them live in, like, the Tallenzintal Valley, but, like, this specific bear, like, it moved, if you want to call it that. It moved. It did live over there, and it moved because of a certain event that happened. It, like, went on its own little journey, I guess you could call it. So anyways, Grail, like, immediately knows probably what bear it's talking about, like, she imagines. And immediately she's like, don't kill the bear. Like, she's very, like, specific about, don't kill the bear. Like, I'll go help you get your friend back, but, like, don't kill the bear. And it's really cool because, like, well, Vendra's there. Like, they're talking to Vendra. And she speaks, like, German and English, like, very well. And I remember, like, she looks at Aethelwulf, which is, like, her right-hand man, basically. And she's like, well, she says it in German because Aethelwulf doesn't speak English, but basically she, like, looks at him and she's like, Aethelwulf, will you go with her and, like, make sure this gets taken care of and, like, get our guy back, basically? And he's like, yeah, no problem. And, like, I remember, so, like, basically Grail's like, I'm not going with him unless you tell him not to kill the bear, because, like, Grail doesn't speak German, so she's like, tell him not to kill the bear. And like Vendra like looks over at Aethelwolf, and instead of saying don't kill the bear, she says like if you have to kill the bear, then you'll have to kill Grail too. Something like that. But Grail doesn't speak German. It goes so hard, bro. Because Grail's just like, alright, cool, let's go. And Aethelwolf's just like, interesting. I really like that. I like playing with like the languages. Like the language barrier is really fun to play with because Grail just like assumes. It's like I like tell him not to kill the bear, and then she says something quickly to him, so it's like, okay, cool, let's go. But it's more just like, yeah, I don't know, it's kind of cool. I like that part's kind of cool. Grail talking to the bear. Big dog put it down. That's not food, it's man. Dude, the big dog stuff goes pretty crazy. I actually wrote a little bit today. Let me find it. I wrote a little bit in this scene today. Let me see. Oh, I like this part too. I don't know if this line is like right, but it's kind of cool though, because she's meant to say weird shit. So I wrote the scene where like Grail is like, I think I read to you guys most of this, but like Grail's like buying wine, and the guy that sells it kind of likes her, like they like each other. They've talked to each other like enough times that they're kind of cool with each other. So like he gives her a discount. But then, like, this other person behind, like, takes the discount as, like, oh, you know, you're shaking him down, too. You guys are all the same type shit. Because he knows about Grail. He's kind of, like, just giving her shit. And, yeah. I wrote, like, this little scene today. I haven't, like, read over it or anything. It's just kind of random. But it's gonna come back to the big dog shit. Like, so it's, like... It's like, so yeah, basically this guy gives her like a bit of problems, like basically being like, why don't you just pay the full price like all of us do, kind of shit. And she's like, oh, it's called respect. And he like kind of mocks her like, oh, you don't have respect for anybody. And then I wrote her this line where she's like, I've been true to days where I turned a man off for the things I want, but I'm trying to show some respect. And then she like slaps the coin down on the table. And she's like, it's people like you that make my insides want to come out and collect. I don't know if that line's perfect yet, but it does sound weird and cool. I don't know if collect is the right word. I'm trying to think of a different word for collect, but it's still a cool line. It's people like you that make my insides want to come out and collect. Because she's obviously referring to like the anger like inside, that like I just want this shit to like it's people like you that like get me on like volts basically. It's a cool line, but it's like meant to be kind of casual. It's meant to be kind of casual, but like obviously like not something you want to hear. Like she's just like huffing about it. Like she's not actually like trying to make an intimidation kind of thing. Just more of like a huffing little thing. And then the shopkeeper who like he's quite German, so he's like I like used a lot of German words for him. So he's like right after that he's like Dankeschön, Grail. And he like breaks the tension. And then she says, I wrote this today as well, like, hey, before man takes off, does my man know where I could find a shop for Tang's animal-like? I seem to have made a dog mad. So I wrote that about, like, I wrote her, so this would be after she throws the rock. You know how she throws the rock at the bear and she feels bad about that shit? So this line is like, this line would be after that, where she's like, hey, before man takes off, does my man know where I could find a shop for Tang's animal-like? I seem to have made a dog mad. And he says, not down here, you'd have to go up to Northern Vela for the likes. I think there was a woman by the name Sura that had a beast shop. Grail's mouth opened Grail's mouth opened a moment before words left. Danke schön. She attempted to repeat the word he showed his gratitude with, causing him to smile wide, so she's wide enough to where she saw his missing teeth. Oh, and Grail, be careful if you take that blade of yours. In the north, they'll lock you up if they catch you with something like that on your person. this was the first, and then I wrote like this line, like just to jog my memory of like this was the first time Grail stepped onto the smooth stone in northern Vela, her top now untucked to hide that long blade of hers gracing her hip, something like that. Because like the idea is like, well, so in the south part of Vela, like there isn't guards and they don't give a fuck because it's like they just don't care. Like they've given up on it basically. It's like they know it's shit. They know people get up to like a lot of bad things down there, and like the few times there were guards down there, like they had bad things happen to them, so they kind of just like most of them gave up on it. Although there's a select group that does try to do stuff down there, but like they just kind of gave up on it a little bit. So they don't go down there and like try to enforce the laws that much right at the moment. They're trying to figure that shit out basically. But in the northern part, like obviously he's like letting her know like, hey, you haven't been up there, but like if they see that blade on you, like you're gonna at least get a talking to, but probably more than that. And she's obviously like not gonna not take it, so she's like, well, fuck, I gotta hide it now, I guess. Because usually she walks around like she wants it on show. It's like, yeah, I'm ready for this shit. It sounds really good, and it does sound like what Grail would say. Yeah. Would this lead into the pet shop you read? To use that you read to us that one time. Did I read to you that, or did I? I don't know what I know. I like mentioned it, but yeah, this would lead into that. This would lead into like the pet shop and like the reference to like the wolf. Yeah, this would lead into that. Let me see what else I wrote. I've wrote quite a lot in the past few days. I just don't know if I want to share the like Vendra Belial stuff. Let me read some of it and see. Dude, I just love their like honestly they're really funny. I don't know if I don't think I read it to you because I don't think I've written it. I think I just talked about it because I think that's why you remember the wolf. I think I just talked about it. Maybe I had like really vague like lines for it, but I know I did. I definitely didn't write it out yet. Like not fully for sure. Yeah, these are some of these lines are good. All right, so here's what I've got. Here's the idea. This is like a rough idea for like a long way from Zion. This is like the plot outline slightly without spoilers, I think. Let me see. Yeah, cuz like you guys kind of already know this stuff. I mean like you guys already know they're together. That's somewhat of a spoiler, but obviously you guys already know that. So I think what I'm going to do, here's like the names I came up with just for like rough draft names. Like part 1, I thought either like The Wanderer, which is a reference to Aethelwulf. Like, part 1 is about Aethelwulf and Vendra. That's the plot for part 1. Part 1 is like Aethelwulf and Vendra, them getting enslaved, and like Aethelwulf standing up for her, and like them becoming really good friends. Aethelwulf is like her best friend. Aethelwulf and Vendra, they're like a bit of a duo, kinda like like a little sister, big brother, kinda, but they're obviously not related. More like friends, but like kind of more than that. And then Like, yeah, he's her like most trusted. They just trust each other a bunch, basically. I was gonna call that either the Wanderer, which is a reference to Aethelwolf, or I was gonna call it like maybe like Land of Forgotten Faces, something like that. Because obviously it's like Das Endless Weiss is where they're at. I'm gonna mix German into these titles. So like title 2, this one's like set in stone. This one's not changing. This is like one of my favorite titles. This one's definitely staying. So part 2 is gonna be about it's gonna be about Belial's first fight in the arena where he gets hit in the face with a sword, and gains his nickname. And the title is Und jetzt der Augenlose, which means it just means and now the eyeless, which is what like der Augenlose is his nickname. It just means like the eyeless or like the one without eyes, but more so, it's a reference to like the fact that like he lost part of his sight because of the whole wound type shit. But yeah, Und jetzt der Augenlose is actually a reference to a rant that I wrote that's titled that. So yeah, that's cool. That's like a super cool name. That's why 100% that won't change, because it's just too meaningful to me. It means a lot and it's cool and it's perfectly fitting for that. Part 3 would be where Vendra. Oh, okay, wait, I missed part of this. Okay, so part 1, Vendra and Aethelwolf, and they get enslaved. Part 2, Vendra is a servant, and she's at the games serving someone, like enslaved, and she sees these games, and she sees Belial do this. Like, she sees him. And she's just like, God damn, that's crazy. And a part of her, tiny piece of her, like, wants that. Because she doesn't want to, like, serve. That's pretty shitty. She'd rather just die in the arena or, like, fight. Like, she has, like, the feeling a bit. And then, so it's like a tiny, like, glimpse of, like, that feeling that she wants. And then, like, we'll pass some time by. Maybe she even hears about more of his victories or something. Or, like, just people. I don't want it to be too focused on him, but obviously he's going to be a big character because we just, like, showcased him in a part. But anyways, third one, I just wrote down the title, like, Any Means Necessary, but I'm going to think of something better that sounds better, but that's the idea. And this part, it would be Vendra starting a fight with another servant in hopes that maybe they would see that she's angry and, like, wants to fight, and they would, like, be like, fuck it, let her fight then. Oh, if you want to fight, kind of like that, right? Oh, if you want to fight, then I guess, fuck it, we'll see how you do in the arena, like, assuming she doesn't want that, but she wants to trick them into being like, fuck, that's what I want, let's go. Like, I want to be in the arena, I don't want to fucking serve you guys. So, like, part 3 is going to be, like, her trying to, like, trick them into, like, basically, like, them seeing it as a punishment, like, fuck it, you can go into the arena and die then. But she wants that shit. And then there would be, like, part 4, which is like, I don't know if I'm going through this too fast, but this is like what I'm thinking, like rough outline right now. It'd be like Find Your Footing. That's like the title I wrote. And that would be, my thought was like, maybe if I do quick flashes of her like winning fights, almost like how movies do like a montage of you winning fights kind of thing. I almost want to just do like quick flashes of like her winning fights. And at the end, or midway through, like the first half of this would be like quick flashes of her winning fights. Midway through, it would transition into like present time, and it would be her getting ready for a big battle, which is against Akela. And Akela is like the best female gladiator. And then like the rest of the part would be the fight against Akela. And then the end would be her calling out on a Nexus. Part 5 would be, I wrote this wrong, but because this shouldn't be part 5. Part 5 should be where she really meets Belial for the first time and becomes his apprentice. But he's rude, he doesn't like her. I mean, he doesn't like anybody at the time. And then like it slowly transitions. Like part 6 would be them training for the first time. And at the end of it, she'd be like confused, like, why are you so mean to me? Why do you hate me so much kind of shit? And he's just like, I don't. What? I already wrote that conversation. Let me see actually if I have it. I can read it to you. I actually really have been liking the way I've wrote his lines. His lines are actually kind of good. I was nervous to write them because it's like me too. Like Grail has her own lingo, you know. She like talks a certain way, so it's like even though she's based on me, it's like it's her own thing. It's cool. Like having a character like and it's different. Like Grail is like she's based on me, but she's not me. This guy literally shares my voice, so it's or he shares my name. So like obviously it's like god damn, I got to make sure. I don't know. I just got to make sure, you know. Sounds like a good timeline. Yeah, I think so far it's looking good. But yeah, I have like a couple lines I can read you probably. So like in that, so basically, yeah, they like she becomes his apprentice. Actually, here, hang on. Before I even do this, I got different lines I can read you, and I got another really great title. Let's see. Did I read you all the titles? Oh, okay. Oh my god, I got more great titles. I forgot. Okay, here's the titles so far, right? In order: Land of the Forgotten Faces. That's okay. Mid tier. I don't know. Might keep it, might not. Part 2, Und jetzt der Augenlose, which is like, and now the eyeless. That's 100% staying. Part 3, Any Means Necessary. Part 4, Find Your Footing. Part 5, you're gonna like this funny because I read you this rant. Well, it wasn't titled this, but it was like in my rant, and me and you both were like, "Damn, that's such a good line." But part 5 is called Elevation by Association, which goes so fucking hard. And I actually implemented, you know that, like, you know the line I'm talking about already, but I implemented that line into that part. I'll read it real quick. Let me see. Here, I'm just gonna turn off. Let me reset. Let me just reset everything. I'm gonna turn off my Xbox, or not reset, but like, give me a second. Might be able to get you guys like a view of this or some shit, or at least do something that's not the way I'm doing it right now, because I don't need my Xbox on. All right, let's get that. What do I want to do here? Alright, let's do that there. Just bear with me for a second. Oh, it goes so hard. I do that. Yeah, that line is crazy. It's gonna be good in here too. Because he's very like, what's the word? It's almost like he's passive aggressive, but not like he's not being. He's just like he's. I don't know. I like the way he's written. You'll see in a second. I'm just going to throw on the map. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw on the map for now, like as a background, just because I don't want to throw on like my writing as the background. There's certain parts that I might not want to show yet. I don't know. They're being worked on. Yeah, let's get that out of here. Wonder draft. There we go. Alright. Okay. And the slide back off. Okay. Let's go back to this now. Alright, let's see. I'm not gonna read all these lines, but let's see. So I wrote this line for, I think his name's gonna be called, I think he's gonna be the master of the house, the one that like technically owns them. The line, the name that's like came to me that I'm just thinking is gonna be Beliaal. I don't know. Sounds kind of Roman. That's what I've used so far. I don't know. I might switch that. But anyways, so like the elevation by association, this is gonna be like her becoming his apprentice. Damn, that name goes so hard. This is gonna be her becoming his apprentice. Which just by the title you can like kind of guess how he feels about it, sort of thing. But anyways, I wrote this line just like at the beginning to set like, well, obviously this is like so far from done. This is just like some lines I wrote, but I wrote this like From now on, I would see it that you train Vendra in the style of Daimagaris. For the coming months, she'll be yours to look after. I have faith that you will bring honor to this ludus once more, setting aside your hatred for mankind in order to elevate us to new heights. Can I count on you? And then he like looks at Vendra. Like basically, he's meant to like look at her, and he doesn't say anything. He just he glances at her, and she feels like basically it's meant to be like, I don't know. I wrote this line. I'll just fucking read it and not talk. I wrote like a line here in between that. He's supposed to be like. He glances over at Vendra with so little emotion that it somehow siphoned hers away. It felt like it siphoned hers away. Something like that. Like, that's how she's meant to feel. It's like, the fuck's your problem? And then he repeats, if you guys have ever watched Spartacus, you're going to get such Spartacus vibes from this, because I kind of took a lot of inspiration from that show to write this stuff. And his response would be like, it's your will in my hands, Dominus. And he like says it like begrudgingly, and then he adds on, I would, however, ask for 2 favors in return. And like the master hates that shit, because he's like, I wrote in like this whole sarcasm. I really based him off of like Spartacus, bro. If you guys have ever watched that show, like I fucking love that show. It's like fucking what's his name? Beliaal is like, that's also why the B, like one of the B name. Beliaal, I based him off of Beliaal and Spartacus, and I based like a lot of the way they talk out of the Spartacus stuff. But I wrote this like line where he's just like, of course, why would a slave just do as I command? Like, why not bargain with me instead? Like I'm some fucking merchant. And then he's like, Belial, I grow weary of this back and forth. Perhaps one day you'll see that this is your place here in the arena and not tending to some faraway vineyard in Atani. Well, speak if you must. Like I wrote him like that, and that sounds really good to me. Like, because he's obviously like. Obviously he's arrogant as fuck. He's like, I own you, basically. But at the same time, it's like, when you're a gladiator, you actually like have a bunch of respect. So it's like, he's able to do this. Like, he is actually, even though he technically is owned, he's able to like ask for things in return because you want to make him happy. So basically he just like, Belial just lets him go off. He just doesn't care. He's like waiting. He's like patiently, like I wrote it, like he's patiently waiting for words to stop flowing. Like that's basically how I wrote it. And then he says, and this is all subject to change as well, but he says, first, I would see it that for my efforts I'm granted access to the lower ward of the building. And he says, for what purpose? And he says, primarily for the purpose of literature. And then, which like comes off weird for the first time, because it's like, I don't know. So far, all you've seen is he's a warrior, he's scary. And he's pretty angry, but like he's pretty well spoken. And then he's like, and the second favor, and he says, second, I would ask that my name be absent when discussing her learnings, for when she dies in the arena, I would wish that my legacy is not stained with defeat. Additionally, it would prove beneficial to me that my name does not grant some ingrate elevation by association. Like that's where I use that line. Obviously, I added to it. But that goes pretty hard, because it's like the first part, like it goes from like 0 to 100, right? He's just like, I want 2 favors. And it's like, what's your first favor? And he's just like, I just want like, basically he's like, I want access to the library. I want to be able to like pick up the books and read them. And then the second one is just, yeah, like, I would ask that my name be absent when discussing her learnings, for when she dies in the arena, I would wish that my legacy not be stained with defeat. Additionally, it would prove beneficial to me that her name, or my name, does not grant some ingrate elevation by association. Yeah, that goes pretty hard. I like that. And like the room goes silent for a second, and Badius like starts laughing about it. He's like, and like I don't know what his response is gonna be, but it should essentially be like I mean, he should just like he's gonna laugh, and he's just gonna be like, can you fucking believe this guy? Like the ego on this guy sort of thing. Like that should be his reaction, but it's like I'm very like serious about this. And he laughs about it, and he actually kind of agrees with him. He's like, no, like, at least you've got some fucking common sense. I'll give you that. Because, like, he also thinks that Vendra will die. So he's also like, so basically he's like, done, fine. Like, your name's not going to be tied to her. Like he was expecting it to be worse, like, worse demands. They weren't that bad. And then, let's see. What else did I write? Questionable lines, but I really like them. Let's see. I also wrote this. Like, these are just, like, lines that I'm gonna tweak, but, like, I think this is good. It's a good start. It's like, Vendra's trying to make small talk with him, and she says, I saw your fight against Aerovix. I was impressed. And she probably says that, like, shyly, I would imagine. She, like, shyly says that. Like, she's kind of nervous to talk to him or anything. I saw your fight against Aerovix. I was impressed. She spoke awkwardly. And then he replies with saying, I saw your fight against Akela, and I would have been impressed had you not made every mistake, or had she not made every mistake she could have to thrown her victory. God damn, I wrote that weird, but I would have been impressed had she not made every mistake she could have to throw her victory. That's, okay. No, it's not that weird, I just read it horribly. I would have been impressed had she not made every mistake she could have to throw her victory. Which is obviously him taking all her credit away, just being like she should have won, but she just fucked up so many times. She fucked up everything. And then I also want him to use this line here, where he like looks at her and just says like, "You even walk weak." Basically like telling her to stand up straight, and then just being like, I wouldn't like to be seen aiding such feeble warrior. Shit like that. Like, stand up straight. Like, walk fucking straight. Don't walk like you're fucking weak. Not around here. So I like that. I like this line too. These are just some random lines I wrote. I wrote him saying like, is that how you hold your blade? He struck his sword down on hers, causing it to slap the ground with a thud. In the arena against me, you'd be absent blade, and the editor of the games would have your life in his hands. Like, obviously the editor of the games is the one that decides if you live or die in, like, a gladiatorial match, so that's a pretty cool line. Just, like, if that's how you're gonna hold your blade, if you were in there against me, you'd be absent blade, and, like, your life would be in his hands. Yeah, those are pretty cool lines. Part 6, the title I wrote down is Übung macht den Meister, which means, it's like a German phrase. It means, well, in English we say practice makes perfect. That's like the phrase. But like Übung macht den Meister means like, it means practice makes a master. Which is cooler. Definitely cooler. Like, that's the practice scene. Yeah, I could do that. Like, just make it, like, he's constantly putting people down. I like that he laughs, though. Like, I'm definitely basing him off Baddie Artist, which is, like, damn, such a good character. Damn, it's such a good character. Like, he's an asshole, but he's just a fucking great character. And a scoff, yeah. Yeah, I like that for him. Like the little, like, because I'm making him kind of sarcastic. Like, obviously, I'm basing it off of like that first line where he's just like, "Oh, of course. Like, why wouldn't you just do as I command? Like, why not bargain with me instead? Like, I'm a fucking merchant." Like that's how he's meant to talk. Like, he's just like mad. Like, he's mad about it. Like, kind of funny. That's how Baddie Artist is in the show. Like, he does that. He like talks to himself like sarcastically. And actually, one of his best lines in the show. Oh my god, one of his best. So he has like a lot of like, I mean, inappropriate lines and like shit like that, but like one of his best lines, and they're all good. Like, his lines are gold. His lines are all gold. No pun intended for what I'm about to say. But anyways, one of his lines is so good. It's like, I'm trying to remember exactly how he phrases it, but it's kind of like, because it's about like Spartacus, how he's like, basically he's been useless. Like he's cost him a bunch of coins, and then he's been useless. Like, he's been useless like over and over again. And, like, there's, like, some line, dude, I wish I knew it off the top of my head, because I'm gonna butcher it, like, saying it wrong. But it's something like, he's talking about him, and he's just like, this man provides me shit, yet then he comes to me as if he produces gold. Yeah, that's what it is. He's like, this man produces shit, but he talks as if he produces gold. If so, squat and produce. It was something like that, and it's hilarious, bro. It's so fucking good, bro. It's like, yeah, I think it's like, oh yeah, that's what it is. It's like he gives me shit and thinks it's gold. If you can produce it, then squat and produce. I can't remember. It's something like that, but it's fucking hilarious, dude. Such a good line. Like that's how he talks. It's just like very sarcastic and like, it's great. Like, he's funny. He's really funny. Like those little digs at people. Yeah, that too. Alright, so then I've got, let's see. So in practice makes a master. I've got, so basically they practice. This is like the first time she gets to talk to him. And they're in their cell. They're in a cell. Which actually I meant to make, he might have 3 demands. Because actually I think I wrote something in here that, maybe it's not in this. It's on my phone. I'll get to it when I get to it. Which will probably be in a second. He might have 3 demands, or I might have to switch the demands. And make it to where that there's an extra bed and everything. Because there's not meant to be. It's meant to just be his cell, but now she's in there. And I wrote a line about that. Anyways, so I wrote her this, like, may I ask you something, because I feel as though you are in a better mood. She says that. And then he responds by saying, you feel wrong. I always feel hate, I just control it enough to where you will not feel it unless deserved. True. And then she replies by saying, so I deserved it earlier? For what? For following instruction? And he says, no. He replied quickly. You see, this is what makes you weak. This is what separates people like you from gods of the arena like me. Harshness breeds excellence. It devours your imperfections until nothing but greatness remains. But it only does so if you let it. People like you see people like me as being rude, but the truth is that my harshness might be the only thing that separates you from a world where your brains end up on the sand. For fuck's sake, you challenged on a nexus. You'll be lucky if you aren't turned into a servant after how badly he embarrasses you in the arena. That's a pretty good line. Like, it's a little bit of him ranting for the first time actually talking to her. But I really like that. It's like, it's true. It's like, she's saying like, oh, you're in a better mood now. Like, it seems like you're in a better mood. Because he's probably reading now. It's like, he's reading in his cell, and she's like, can I ask you something? Like, you seem like you're in a better mood. Like, he's calm now. And he's like, well, you feel wrong, because I always feel hate. Like, I just don't let you feel it unless you deserve it. And her response is like, oh, so I deserved it earlier. And it's like, huh? We were practicing. Like, there is no hate. I'm just gonna, like, I'm making you feel weak because you are weak until you prove otherwise you're weak. Like, that's just how it is. Like, I'm gonna treat you, like, harshly because that's how I got treated and that's why I'm so good at this shit. Like, that's how he's thinking. It's like the harshness created me. I'm one of the best. So I'm gonna put that harshness back into you and make you one of the best. And there's some really good lines that, like, let her see this. But I think she actually does understand it, like, a bit after he says this. Well, anyways, he didn't know that she was actually a servant. He thought he didn't really think about it at all. He didn't know she was a servant, though. So, like, at this end line where he says, like, for fuck's sake, you challenged on a nexus. You'll be lucky if you aren't turned into a servant after how badly he will embarrass you in the arena. And then she replies by saying, I already was, and I won't go back. I would rather die on the sand than serve once more. Her voice carried anger and loss as it traveled to him, something he felt and acknowledged. Then there may be hope for you after all, he added. Now, if you don't mind, I would now like to continue my book. I like that, too. It's like, it's very, like, he doesn't want to have this conversation. It's just like, why are you talking to me? But at the same time, he gains a tiny bit of respect for her here, because she's like, I already was a servant, and I won't go back. I'd rather die out there than serve again. And immediately he's just like, then maybe there's a little bit of hope for you. At least you fucking want to die over this shit. Like, that's a start. The fact that you want to die over this shit is a start. I think that's really cool. Slowly building their bond. Really slowly. I mean, obviously, they're kind of not really liking each other right here, but... And then I wrote her these lines. I don't know where they'll go exactly. Oh, so this is kind of the same thing. Kind of the same scene, but I wrote it differently. So I wrote her saying, like, what? Going to tell me I'm too fragile to be a gladiator? Does my beauty make you nervous? And he says, no, I don't get nervous. Besides, you forget that I come from Germania as well. I do not underestimate the power of our women. Which is a reference to the fact that the place they're at, like the country they're in, their women don't fight. Like, in the country they're in, like, women are not fighters, they don't fight, it's like all the men in the military kind of shit, right? But in Germania, where they're both from, like Vendra and Belial are both from Germania. In Germania, there is no like women are not fighters. It's anybody. It doesn't fucking matter. There isn't really like they don't think about it. They do section them. They do section them between the two. Like there is like certain training for like women and certain training for men. It depends, but there is like a little bit of sectioning, but they don't really think of it. It's like a lot of women fight in Germania, so they're like seen as a bit more powerful, even though they're not technically more powerful, but they're just treated that way. At least like especially when you're like German, like in the book, like that's like it's a prideful thing. It's like yeah, we're all fighters here, kind of thing. And so like that's a cool line that he has. Like him saying, like, yeah, no, I don't get nervous. Besides, you forget that I'm from Germania too. I do not underestimate the power of our women. And then she replies by saying, then why do you barrage me with your hate and anger? So this is like the same scene, right? I'm basically reading you two different versions of the same scene. And he replies by saying, have I been rude to you since you stepped foot in here? He replied, you stand in one of the nicest cells in this ludus, in which I have gifted you more than a fair split of. I bartered with Badius so that you would have your own bed. Explain to me which part of me has caused such animosity in you. If I've treated you any better, I would be calling you queen. Which is a pretty cool line too. Like she's viewing it as like, why are you so rude to me? It's the same idea, same thing. I just like I said, same scene. I just wrote it two different ways, but like that's a cool line too. I like that line, and obviously once they're in a relationship, I can do a callback to where she's like, well, you treat me better, kind of shit. So I can do a callback to that line, but that's a cool line. Like if I treated you any better, I would be calling you queen. So he feels like it's like I literally did everything for you. Like I made sure you had your own bed in here. Like you're in the nicest cell in this entire ludus, which I fought for, and I bled for that shit, and you didn't. It's like you've got everything gifted to you just now, and you're in here asking me why I'm rude to you. That's like fuck off. Honestly, I should add him just saying that. Like, fuck off. That would be kind of funny. Maybe I should add it at the end of that line. Like, if I treated you any better, I would be calling you queen, so you can fuck off. Like, something like that. That'd be kind of funny, too. That's a pretty good line. But anyway, I mean, it's a good line regardless, but I really like that. I think that's a cool one. And then, so she replies to that, like, at the time, she replies to that by saying, like, yet on the sand you treated me absent respect. And he says, of course, he exclaimed, raising his voice a bit. On the field of battle, you can only hope for respect, but you train and prepare for disrespect. I push myself. That's how I perfected my craft. If I am to be responsible for your well-being in battle, I would much rather you hate me and live than love me and die. Which is also true. Like, and that's something that's going to come back to haunt Vendra a long time later, man. She's going to feel exactly what he feels. Right there, like that exact line is like it's such a cool reference to like way later. Like we're talking in the book, we're not talking in the short story. We're talking in the book. Like Vendra relates that line to like I would much rather you hate me and live than love me and die. She feels the exact same way with someone else later on because she ends up becoming a teacher and she feels the exact same way. It's like I would way rather you like I don't want you to hate me, but I would rather you hate me and like live, do everything right and live than like love me and die just because I was nice. And then I wrote, like, the room went silent. She had no words worth replying with, especially when she realized he spoke some truth. And then a reference to that line, a reference to, like, him saying, you know, like, so I'm definitely gonna keep that line in. Like, if I treated you any better, I would be calling you queen. That's a cool line. A little bit of a dig. But then later, I wrote this one part. This is another name that I won't be changing. So this is like once they do get into a relationship. There's a title for a later part, and it's going to be called A Queen Yet Crowned, which I think is pretty cool. And then I think I'm going to go back to that line where she's like, basically, dear, if you recall, you once said to me, and she's going to like reply that, and basically be like, do you recall this? And he's going to reply like, can't say I do. And like basically she's like, that's fine, like I remember, so like and now that you're treating me better, I'm here to collect. That's pretty funny. They have like a lot of banter back and forth, like some fun, so I think that would be a good like callback to it. I think, let me see. Oh my god, that joke is so bad. Yeah, I wrote this like, yeah, I wrote this like, I'm not sure why I like it. So, like, this is like, so she kind of gives him like a tough act a little bit, but then like she ends up just like laughing with him, and she's like, I'm not sure why I like it so much. She said softly, maybe because you were the first to treat me like I am something. I am more than just someone. And he replies like, "You are." He stared up at her. Vendra, die Klingentanzerin, beautifully deadly, fearless and feared, a queen yet crowned. That's like the first time he says it. Like that. That's like a reference to the title. The title goes hard as fuck. Title goes hard as fuck. So yeah, a queen yet crowned. That's gonna be one. There's gonna be a part that's like gonna be something along the lines of like deadly distractions, which is like where they start flirting a little bit. Because one of the rules, I'm taking this from Spartacus, by the way, just like fair. Like I mean, dude, I'm definitely taking a lot of inspiration from them, from the show Spartacus. But anyways, there's a line in Spartacus that goes hard as fuck, which is like, it's like a gladiator's first distraction is his last. Like that shit goes hard. It's like one of their rules. It's like no distractions. Like because if you get distracted, you're dead, kind of shit. I'm taking that idea. Like I'm definitely using that. I'm gonna like use it to where Belial tells her that, like basically like I don't want any, like you aren't meant to have any distractions. Like there is no thought. Like when you're on the sand, there's no thought besides like your blade. That's it. And like the victory. There's no other thoughts. But like that's like the part where they start flirting a tiny bit, and he tells her not to because it's like it is a distraction. So that's like gonna be a thing. Then I got a good one here for you. This is another German one. I think this works. I'm gonna use this. This goes hard as fuck. So on her big match, like when she fights, I'm assuming on a Nexus, I guess. I can't believe I'm gonna do that. I can't believe I'm gonna make that canon. To be honest, that she fights him. I feel like I have to lead up to it though, because like that's got to be big, because he's really good. Anyways, the whenever she fights on a Nexus, like the big match, I think it's gonna be called the title is gonna be called Der Hexenkessel, which means it means the witch's cauldron, which is cool, as fuck. And it's even cooler when you get the reference. So the reference, and this is something new I learned. So in Germany, if you go to a football game or like a U.S. soccer game, a football game, they refer to their own stands or like their own arena. They refer to it as like, oh, it's like the Der Hexenkessel, like the witch's cauldron, and it's a reference to the fact that everybody's drinking and it's wild as fuck. So it's like the witch's cauldron, but it's like talking about brews, like dude, it goes crazy. So I'm gonna use that as a reference to like the quote unquote the Colosseum kind of in my book, like the arena where the gladiators fight. It's gonna be like, yeah, the witch's cauldron, basically. It's like everybody's drinking and it's crazy and it's like wild and shit. Big match. So that's a really cool reference. I think anybody that gets the reference in German will like it as well. Yeah, I like that a lot. That goes hard. See what else is there anything else? It's a really cool title. Yeah, I'm trying to do, and if I can, I'm gonna try to do back and forth like English to German titles. So far, right now, it's like English, German, English, 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 German, English, German, English, English. I need more German titles because I think if I did back and forth like English, German would be cool. Because I think on Nellie's part, I might name them all in German. I don't know. Because Grails is all English. This one might be cool if I do half and half. I think I'm gonna do half and half already. Let me see if I have any other lines I can read. Yeah, I love Vendra, man. I really like her. She's cool. She's becoming like cooler and cooler. The more I like write of her, I really like her. I think that might be it. I think that might be all this, the new stuff that I've got. Wait, what is this? Nah, not really. I don't really have anything else. Not for that story. I've got the Nelly story, like, a little bit. I've got some parts of it. What's your question about dreams? Ooh, I might be able to read you some Nelly lines, maybe. I don't really have many yet, though. I'll probably read this, I guess. Oh, dude, Nelly is cute in the short story. I mean, she's cute anyways, but she's actually really cute in the short story. It's because I get to write, like, young Nelly as well. Like, the first few parts are, like, her when she's, like, a kid as well. It's pretty great. Been having really violent dreams of late, and I don't understand why. I need more details. But I mean, also, like, I don't know. My opinion on it, it's like, I don't think violence in your dream means anything specifically. Well, I mean, well, it could for you. But, like, the problem is, like, that's my belief on dreams. Like, my belief on dreams is that if me and you had the exact same dream, like, literally the exact same dream, I think it would mean something different. Because we're different. So, like, that's the issue, is, like, I can't tell you what they mean, but I don't know. I usually have violent dreams. I've been having weird dreams again, to be honest, but not necessarily violent ones. I've been having weird ones, though. It kind of depends, though. Like, violent towards you, violent towards others, or violent towards others via you. Those are the three types that I have. Most of mine are, like, violence towards me, and then some of them are, like, violence towards others that I see, and then, like, very few of my dreams has been, like, me doing the violent things. But most of those are, like, you know, someone breaks in my house. Type dreams. You could, I fucking hate that this mic just starts dying, man. I mean, you can write them down, or, like, I don't know, send them or something. Or put them in chat, whichever, if you want. And I can think about it. But yeah, I don't know. I could tell you if I had anything similar. I've probably had at least something somewhat similar just by how many violent dreams I've had. Extremely violent towards others. But, like, you're not involved? Oh, dude, this part's so sad, man. Why do I have to write such good shit that's sad and stuff? Like one of them was me beating the shit out of this older guy because he got on my property. Is there like... I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that sounds weird. You just reminded me of a dream that I had. But it was like... I didn't write it down. It's kind of a weird one, and I don't. I mean, you reminded me of it enough to where I remember it, but like I don't remember it like exactly. I don't know how to explain it. I don't remember it enough to like recite it to you. I don't know. It's honestly, it's impossible for me to tell you what your dreams mean. Like I don't even want to try just because I don't like when people do it to me. Also, I don't know where to begin because I don't really think of other people's dreams. I just think of mine. So I'm not sure about that. Wait, what is this? Damn, I was in my Nelly bag right here. I was writing her so well, man. It's just fun, like a little bit of fun in her speech, which is really good. I truly don't understand them because it makes no sense. I haven't felt violent in like 3 years, so it's very weird to me. I don't think like having a violent dream is always. I don't think that's always like. I mean, it sounds kind of dumb to say it like this, but I don't think it's always equated to violence. Like there's times where. Like, there's times where I'm literally, like, violent, I guess, if you want to say it like that. Like, me hitting shit and all that. And then I go to sleep and I might have, like, a weird random dream. And then there might be days where I'm just, like, completely, I don't know, calm and cool, but then have violent dreams. So, I don't think violence is, like, necessarily that. I mean, the more interesting part about the dream is that, like, it wasn't that big of a deal what he did, it seems. Unless he was, like, super threatening, but it sounded like he wasn't. That's the only thing that's interesting. Because I would say, like, if it was, like, let's say, okay, let's change the situation a bit. If it was some guy with a knife that's on your property and you beat him up, I don't think we'd be questioning this. Because you'd be, like, you wouldn't be thinking, like, oh, I haven't been violent in a long time. You'd just be thinking, well, like, yeah, he had a knife. I beat the shit out of him. Like, he's on my property, he has a knife. I beat him up. Makes sense. Like, the question is why such a drastic feeling towards something that's not that deep, I guess. That's what it sounds like. And that, I don't know. I mean, I can't answer that. That's a you thing. Even if you don't feel violent, maybe it's like... Maybe something in your life it equates to. That's how I look at dreams. I look at dreams as like a metaphor. I do genuinely think they mean a lot. I always look at them metaphorically and think like, I don't know, they're pretty obvious to me usually though. When I have dreams, I usually know what they mean. Don't know if I could give you an example. I haven't actually been writing down my dreams much though recently. I used to dream so much. Let me see. I'll check my phone and just read one to you maybe if I find an interesting one. Let me see what this one is. Oh, this one's fucking scary, bro. I already know what this is. This shit's fucking scary. I'm reading it real quick. Hang on. I'll be in silence for a second. Damn, that's crazy, bro. What the fuck? Okay, this shit's just some wild shit, though. This is not my normal dream, but should I even read this one yet? Hang on, let me see what else I've got. Let me see what... That one's crazy, though. That one's crazy. Hang on, let me see what else I've got real quick. Ooh, this one's got dark in it. Damn. What the fuck did I just read? I'm reading some weird dreams, bro. I don't remember these. Ooh, what's this one? Wait, what the fuck did I just read? I'm so confused reading my own dreams. I should have wrote these better. What the fuck? I don't even remember what that means, bro. I should have wrote these better. Usually I like remember what my dreams mean. Now that we're talking about dreams, I'll remember mine tonight. Because whenever I talk about my dreams, I do remember them. I just haven't talked about them to anybody in a long time. Oh, that one's weird too, bro. I think I understand it now that I've thought on what you said. I feel like usually if you think about it metaphorically, you can usually come up with something pretty quickly that makes a lot of sense. But like I don't know, it usually makes sense. I wish I could give you a good example. I mean, I might be able to. Let me just look at my actual. Let me look at the dreams that like I really wrote down like well, I guess. Let me find them real quick. Miscellaneous dreams. Let's go to the very end. Yeah, I remember that one. I wish I wouldn't have seen that shit. Let's see what else we got. Dude, somebody would think I'm insane if they read this list. Huh. Hang on. Dude, I have like really weird dreams where I write down people's names because I feel like some people that I meet in my dreams aren't fake, dude. I don't know how to explain it. Like, this is such a weird dream. Like, I have a lot of weird dreams like this where, like, I don't know, it's just like, it doesn't seem. I don't know. Some people seem like there's definitely people in my dreams that aren't real, obviously, but I just swear there's some times in my dreams where some weird shit happens. That's all I'm saying. Damn, they sound really weird. I don't even want to read any of these because they sound just weird. Oh, that one's crazy. Here's a good one. Here's a good one I can read you. This is a classic. So I have a lot of dreams about ghosts, and I these are like specifically the one like people are gonna call me weird, but like I don't think the ghosts in my dreams are like all fake, I guess. They're weirdly not. I don't know how to explain it. And I've had some like also like actually unexplainable dreams. Um I had this dream. I called it like I titled them just so I remember, but I called it like Cake Ghost. um but yeah, it's like I wrote down like in a house talking to an older brunette woman. She told me the girl directly upstairs wanted me to help make a cake and to make sure that they put one specific thing on it. And then she told me what the specific thing was. I can't remember what it was, but it was like a secret ingredient. It was like, make sure you put this on the cake. That girl upstairs, she needs help making a cake. And make sure you put this thing on it. That's what an older brunette lady told me. Then I went upstairs, talked with the other girl that she referenced. We got along pretty well, and it was like really casual that I was helping her. So yeah, I wrote like the next girl that wanted me to help her bake a cake talked to me casually for a bit before she told me what kind / what the cake was for any or any other details. I told her what kind it was, and that we I told her what kind it was like before she even asked. So then she was confused as to how I knew what kind the cake was supposed to be already. So I pointed down and I said the girl downstairs told me, and that the lady stood up and started like brainstorming essentially. And after silence, she said, "The brunette lady," and I nodded and said, I nodded, and then she like quickly exited the room to find a man. First thing she told him was, "I'm not the only one that saw her." So I quickly walked out into the hall. Turns out that she had died a few days ago, and the cake was being made for the guy, which was her husband. And that the girl downstairs told me what he liked. Special ingredient, specifically something only she knew that he liked. Like that was like a dream I had. It was quite interesting. Like there's a lot of layers to it. I wrote down that one. That one was interesting. Let me see if I can find the Michael one, dude. Michael. Dude, Michael's is scary, bro. You want to hear some scary shit? Also, I write them for me to remember them, not write them for other people to read them. So like that's why they sound a bit weird if I read them. But anyways, this one's Michael. This is like a different ghost that I saw. I was at a house with strangers when they asked me to go see Michael. They had mentioned him, and I knew something was off. I walked through. Well, I'm gonna elaborate on that so that you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyways, they mentioned like I went to a house. Basically, I went to this girl's house that I knew, and her kids. Like I knew the girl, but she had kids like roughly my age, and her kids were like, "Oh, we should take him to meet Michael," which I just assumed was her husband, like their dad. I don't know. They're just talking about Michael, but I felt like something was off. And then we ended up walking through their backyard. And their mother, which is the one that I knew, she said, make sure you don't, she basically told me, you can go anywhere in a house, feel free to do whatever you want, you're welcome here. Just make sure you don't touch any of my stuff. Like, that's specifically what she said to me. And, that stood out. It was weird. Because she didn't tell me what her stuff was. She just said, make sure you don't touch my stuff, which implies that I'll know what her stuff is. And once she said that, I knew Michael wasn't normal. I felt like he was different. Something was off about him. We went out to the back. We went to the backyard. We were walking across the backyard, and there was a tent out back. And when we went into it, the only thing I would describe, I don't know how to describe the stuff that was in it other than voodoo type stuff, voodoo dolls and shit. Which immediately I was like, okay, that's her stuff that I shouldn't touch probably. I kind of just got that vibe immediately, okay, that's what she meant by her stuff. Don't touch my stuff. And at this point, I felt like Michael was a ghost, or at least something not human. Then I started to feel someone grab my hand. Not in a gentle way, but instead it was by the wrist and quite hard. I tried to stay calm as I talked to them, because I couldn't see anything, asking them who he was and things like that. They said Michael was great and was showing them things, ? I lost control over my other hand, my left hand. I lost control over my other hand as it grabbed a knife and tried to raise it to my wrist that was being held. My right wrist was being forced up by the invisible hand, while I felt my left was lining up a knife to cut. The dream ended as I struggled and lost, waking up as the knife touched my arm. I wrote that kind of weird, but yeah, I remember this. I remember this feeling. It's a really scary feeling, because it was it's not like the ghost was trying. Well, I don't even know if I should call this one a ghost. Scary shit, though. It wasn't like he was trying to take this knife and, cut my wrist. It was like he was showing me that he could. That's how it felt. It felt like I couldn't move either of my hands. I held out my wrist, and I held, this knife to my, wrist. Point facing down. me mimicking it in real life literally right now. Like actually just fucking feeling this shit again. Well, it doesn't feel the same because I'm doing it, but like, yeah, somebody did that shit to me. In the dream. It was like, I mean, I couldn't see it, but yeah, that was Michael. I've seen him twice actually. I saw him in another dream. There was a follow-up to that, kinda. It wasn't really the exact same thing, but there was a follow-up to that. Some scary shit. I think he's the scariest ghost that I've seen. They're pretty scary ones, though. That one was like the scariest, I think. Damn, this dream's old as fuck. This is like an 8-year-old dream right here that I wrote down. This is a crazy dream. Had a dream. This is a good one. I'm gonna end on this one. I'm not gonna read a bunch of my dreams, but this one's really interesting. This is like an 8-year-old dream. That's crazy, and it's like really interesting dream to me. And I barely wrote anything down from it. I had a dream about this girl. I guess I'm not gonna say her name. It doesn't really matter though. But anyways, I had this dream about this girl that I used to really like. Don't recall what we talked about, but me and her were talking basically. We were sitting down talking. Not sure what about. Then the dream swapped, and I was like, I guess presumably in like, I don't know, Iraq or Afghanistan or some shit. I don't know. Like there was a minefield, and like it clearly looked like I don't know, like Afghanistan kind of shit. And there was like a lady walking into the minefield, like a local lady, like an Afghan lady, right? Walking into this minefield. And we were like, I guess I was like a part of this, like, I don't know, I was like a soldier there. And I was like, hey, I don't think she knows she's walking into a minefield. Like, we gotta go fucking get her. And the closer we got to her, we started to see that she was walking with a kid, which is like, or a baby basically. And we were like, oh, fuck that, dude. That's sketchy shit. So basically, I like traced her footsteps, hoping to fuck I didn't blow up. And I caught up to her. And by the time I caught up to her, I noticed that she wasn't in danger, but instead, her or the baby was disabling the mines with her mind. Like as she walked, there were no mines in her path. Like they were being disabled. So she knew about them presumably, or she had something otherworldly protecting her. And this is where the dream gets really interesting. So it flashes back to me talking to that girl, the girl that I liked, right? And she asks me, like we're having a conversation. She asked me, "Why did you dream of her?" And I responded, "I don't know." And she responded, "Okay, just remember the part about the mines because it's important." That happened in my dream, bro. That shit's crazy. That's one of the dreams that like caused me to start writing down my dreams because that's insane. Like literally it starts with me having a conversation with this girl, flashes to that scene, weird ass scene, and then it flashes back and she's like, "Why did you dream of her?" And I was like, "I don't know." And then she's like, "Yeah, just remember the part about the mines though. It's important." Okay. Guess I'll remember that shit. Like what the fuck? That's pretty crazy, man. It's a weird one. It's just weird. If I could talk to this girl, I would bring this up to her, actually, and just see if she's ever had a dream that's weird. I don't know. That would be interesting. What if she did? What if she had a weird dream? I actually tried to talk to her a while back, or like I mentioned, there's a scene in my book, actually, that is a reference to her. Like a light reference to her. It's like a reference to something I did for her that she didn't know. And I used Grail. Like, Grail does it in my book for Nelly. It's a pretty cool scene. I reached out to her because I was like, I want to let you know about this shit. It's kind of cool. But I didn't. She never saw it. I don't think she has, like, it was on, I tried to reach out to her on Facebook, but she only has it, like, most people don't see their messages unless you're their friend, and I didn't want to add her because I was like, eh. Adding her seems weird. It's not, but it seems weird to me. I don't know. I'm very particular with that kind of shit. Like, I don't like you're not my friend. That kind of shit. But yeah, that dream's interesting. See, most of my dreams are just like me dying, dude. Like that's what I wrote down. Damn, what the fuck? The way I started writing these, like, it genuinely looks like some insane person wrote them. Ooh, that's a weird one too. Man's got multi-part dreams. I figure out why I beat up old people. I have some really crazy dreams like that. Dude, listen to how I'm just trying to find one, like... I'm trying to find one that's just funny to read randomly. Well, that one was cool. Oh, the hamster dream, bro. Ooh, that's cool. That's a weird ones, bro. Ah, that's a sad dream. Dude, what the fuck? That's it. That's just. Oh my god, like that gives me like chills reading some of this shit because it's creepy as fuck the way I wrote it. I mean, it's already a creepy dream. Like this is how I wrote this dream. This is zero context for you. This is me reading exactly what I'm reading. This is called Seek. I titled this Seek or Call. And I wrote, talking to Connor, look back, my hoodie made me jump. Start talking again. Next time I look back, it was gone. Banner completely switched sides in my room. It wanted me to seek or call. That makes no sense to anybody but me. But, like, I remember it, though. Shit's creepy, bro. Like, it's just like, well, the seek or call shit. It was like, it's a reference to something that's, like, not human in my house kind of shit. It was scary as fuck, bro. But the way I wrote it didn't make it looking nicer. Dude, this is how I write my dreams, like, because I just write them so that it jogs my memory. I don't actually, like, write them down. This is another one. I wrote, new home, mansion, hands down, back, felt like not mine, but logic said they were. What the fuck does that mean? Mansion, new things, doll came to life. I wanted to bury it in the woods. I ripped it up and felt pieces vibrating in my hand. It escaped. I wrote that. You see how, like, dude, this shit looks so terrifying. And I write, like, questions for myself, too. Like this one. I write questions for myself, dude. The problem is because I wake up and I write them instantly, and I'm too tired to want to write, so I write them as quick as possible, like just enough to where I remember. That's why it's like that. It's really choppy because I just don't want to spend time on it. And like usually there's like a billion mistakes, like spelling mistakes, because it's like oh, here we go. Hang on, I just found a bunch more. These are probably the ones we want actually right here. Dude, that sounds so creepy the way I write this shit. This doesn't even have a sentence really. I mean, it does technically once. This is literally what I wrote for this dream, and I don't remember it. I wrote ghost hunt, period. Wants to leave, period. Body parts, period. Comeback, period. Twisted, period. Fixed, period. What the fuck? Literally, ghost hunt, want to leave, body parts, comeback, twisted, fixed. That's what I wrote for a dream. Room ransacked. Writing on door. I grabbed a knife. 2 women sat in chairs in my house. Aliens? Question mark. Looked at me. I took. I'm not saying that. What the fuck? These dreams are crazy, bro. Grail. Scared I wouldn't wake up? Or wait, did I mean to say gray? I feel like I might have meant to say grail there. Scared I wouldn't wake up. It was not a dream. What the fuck? Huh? Oh my god, this dream scared the fuck out of me when I had this. I remember this. This dream scared the fuck out of me, bro. I'm gonna have a horrible dream tonight. I know it just thinking of all these fucking things. I wrote, mother into a new religion, at old home, saw outside 3 watchers. One stood outside her window, looked like a policeman, huge smile. Other 2 looked alike. I had my gladius as I talked to a woman for police, ready to defend my mother. Woman asked who was with me. Quote unquote, stay quiet, I can hear them too. No one's talking. I hear whispers. Cop arrives. The 3 walk off our lawn and stand. I met the cops with gladius. And then I wrote Charon. Because I felt like the more I looked into that dream, it's like my mother was into a new religion at the beginning, saw 3 watchers, 2 looked the same. The police showed up later, after, even though this first one was dressed like that, to like, I don't know, pretend or fake me out. And I wrote Charon at the end because he's like the Greek, I think it's Greek. He like takes people to the underworld, which I think was what was happening there. Cuz like she was into a new religion in the dream. I think it had some weird symbols and stuff which I remembered to be Greek once I woke up, and then I don't know, it was just weird. I wrote down Charon. That shit scared the fuck out of me, that dream. Oh. What the fuck? Dude, some of these dreams are so weird. Hmm. Dude, I mean, it's because it's not me in the dreams, bro. Like, I don't. It's. I mean, it's me, but it's not like. I don't know. Dude, some of these lines, there's some scary shit I've heard in my dreams. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I mean, it feels kind of like me. It's mostly like me, but. Dude, that shit's crazy. I'm reading some different ones too. Damn, some of these bring back bad memories too. Holy shit, I have so many to look at. That's crazy. Dude, the questions are crazy. The questions, like I'm asking myself. I mean, but that's basically like what I'm how I'm deciphering my dreams anyways. Usually the questions have to do with like what I think matters in the dream. Hmm. Dude, some of this could just I could just turn this into written things, bro. Like the way it's phrased, it's like weird. It's got that like weird vibe to it. Oh my god, Sermine, bro. So there's this ghost I saw in my dream. Well, I don't know if she was a ghost to be fair. I'm calling her one, but I don't actually know. Not sure. It's sometimes it's hard to decide. Like obviously there's like the obvious ones like that you can't see sort of shit. Like Michael, right? Like I couldn't see him. But then there's like this one, like so there's this girl Sermine. There was this dream I had of like a girl named Sermine, and I could see her, which isn't abnormal for like if this is a ghost, because I've seen like plenty. So Nellie in my book, like the book Nellie, her best friend's name is Sermine, and it's because of this dream I had. Because like Nellie, obviously, like I dream of Nellie. That's where Nellie came from. Is like she's a ghost in my dreams, right? That matters a lot. I've seen her a bunch in my dreams. Sermine, I had like this dream of this girl named Sermine, and I felt like a bit of like love, I guess. Like I felt like a feeling of love. We were like singing and things like that. It was quite nice. And then I slowly started to realize I was dreaming, and I looked at her and I said, "Will I ever see you again?" Like, or will I ever find you again, or something like that. I think it was that. I think it was find. Like, will I ever find her? Like, will I ever find you? And she replied by saying, "I'm trying," which was quite interesting. I've had a lot of weird dreams like that, where it's like I realize I'm dreaming, and like as I realize it, I ask a question, or like I'll ask like for their name, but I knew her name. If I didn't know her name, I probably would have asked. I had another dream of like a different girl, and I asked her name when I realized it. When I realized I was dreaming, I asked her name, and she replied, "Sarah Irene." I wrote that down. But that dream didn't matter as much. The Sermine dream mattered a lot more because it gave me like a hint of the feeling that like I had with Nellie as well. Like it gave me like a really nice feeling. But her, like, it's crazy though. Once I realized I was dreaming, like asking her if I could find her again, and she said she's trying. That's crazy, bro. Some shit like that. Some weird shit. I'm done reading these. I don't want to see any of the other ones, bro. No, but she was a nice person. I'd like to see her again, I guess. A lot more than some of the other ones. Thought my Xbox was off so much longer ago. I don't know. I have weird dreams, so. Alright, I think I'm gonna go to sleep. I don't know what time it is. It's 5. Oh, it's 5. I gotta go to work tomorrow again. Classic, classic, classic. At least I didn't make absolutely nothing today. Honestly, I made like the most I've been making recently, which is still not enough, but at least I made like $50 in tips. I mean, like I said, still not enough. But it's better than fucking $30, which is what I've been making. So that's good. Hopefully tomorrow's alright as well. Probably miss the stream tomorrow, but I'll be here tomorrow. That makes no sense. Monday, man. Okay. Sounds good. I might not even stream tomorrow. I don't know. I might just get home from work, watch the end of that tournament, and sleep. Maybe. If I can. I won't be able to do that, but I'm gonna try that. But anyways, it was fun. It was fun. Appreciate you hanging out with me. I'm gonna go to sleep because honestly, so I'm gonna do that. So yeah, I might stream tomorrow, but I might not. I don't know. I'll definitely be streaming the next like Monday through Wednesday. I'll be streaming. So I'll see you guys then. Good night, guys.